Knights now 2-4 on the season. Proved that perhaps that record might indicate last week. For Poplar Bluff, 3-3 on the year. Let's thank ProCare Automotive in Bonterra, one of our sponsors tonight. Also bidding for in Fredericktown. Earth Mother Health Foods, Brayden May Concrete, and Gifford Lumber Company in Farmington. Luke, you've got a quarterback in Justin Bain that ran for almost 200 last week, threw for over 260, and to me that's the kind of guy I want on a rainy night, because if something isn't working due to conditions, well, we can just do something else because we've got a guy that can engineer it.
Oh, absolutely, Chad. And as for Poplar Bluff, I'm not really sure what they benefited from not coming out and warming up on the field. You're going to have to come out here and play in it anyways. And we actually saw Farmington earlier this year play in the torrential downpour against Trinity Catholic, and actually it's one of their better offensive nights of the season so far. So I think you got a player like Justin Bain, like you're talking about. He can take care of things on the ground too, as well. He showed last week through the air.
All right, so we will meet this offense from Poplar Bluff coming up in just a moment. So back to return it for Poplar Bluff is Jordan Emmons, and he is joined deep by Kimbrell Miller for the Farmington Knights. So they changed kickers midway through the season. Alec Van Stavern is going to squib it. This one goes on the ground, and it's quickly covered up. And a nice job of catching that one by Alex Lewis. He grabbed it and then quickly got down to the turf at the 38-yard line. Starting lineups brought to us by Midwest Convenient Care, and the starters for Poplar Bluff. Well, there's been in flux at that quarterback spot. Todd Vaughn told us, he said, I think their best is Cortez Ellis. We'll see, as Drew Dowd actually is going to come out and start this game. Alec Green, the center, Clint Wellborn, Ethan Bent are the guards. Nick and Quentin Michael, the twins, they're going to be the tackles in this one. Kimbrell Miller is a wide receiver. And on the other side, it's Taylor Coleman. They'll start off with a run here to B. Wynn. B. Wynn looking for that right corner, and he's driven down after a 5-yard gain. His first name spelled B-I, but pronounced B. B. Wynn, they have small backs, 5'6", 155 pounds for B. Wynn. Cornelius Timothy is 5'6", as well, but he's 175 pounds. But they're guys that are packed tight and can haul it. So B-Win gets 5 yards on the first try.
B-Win, not very tall out there, but he sure showed off the speed there pretty quick. And don't want to let him get to the corner or the outside.
And he got there awfully quick. And once again, they give it to running back. And this time it's Cornelius Timothy. He leads them in yardage on the year with 335 yards coming in, just over B-Win. And he gains just looks like a yard that time for Timothy. Quarterback Drew Dowd, he's only rushed 3 times this year, so we'll see if they increase his carries in this one. Farmington will start Jacob Henson and Austin Herbst as tackles, and then Austin DeSolt and Zach Grief join that 4-man front. The linebackers are Ryder Garrett and Trent Hughes, and then the outside linebackers are Elijah McBride, Grant Hopkins, Trey Emsden, and Jared Dunlap are the corners, and Anthony Greco plays that safety spot. Hand it off to Timothy. He goes over the left side, first down, and more clock as midfield is driven out at the Farmington 44-yard line. So first down on a 10-yard gain, however, a flag on the play.
We'll see what the flag is. If it's on the Mules, it won't matter anyways, but Grant Hopkins kind of over-pursued playing that outside linebacker position for the Knights, and he got beat to the outside there.
And you can negate that break. Good run by Cornelius Timothy as it's a holding penalty against Poplar Bluff. It was in that holding box, Luke, and I thought that's perhaps what they were going to call, and indeed they did. So Poplar Bluff undermines their first drive with a holding penalty, and a nice run by Cornelius Timothy, but also some nice blocking. He had an edge to get to. They had sealed it off pretty well.
They sure did, and just got a little bit too good of a block,
so to speak. Well, the Cardinals, are they in the ninth inning yet? They were leading 6-3, and Atlanta had loaded the bases. And so the Redbirds playing in that playoff game in Atlanta, and they appear to be in pretty good shape. We'll get a latest score for you on that one. And now they give it to Timothy once again. This time he tests the middle of the Farmington defense, gains 2 yards on a 3rd and 13, and so that's not going to be enough, and it looks like it's going to force a Poplar Bluff punt. Darius Sales comes on to boot it away for Poplar Bluff. And returning it for Farmington, it's Anthony Greco.
Well, we saw Greco, man, he was a spark for this team last week. He came in on the defensive side of the ball and really got things going with that fumble recovery and did some nice things on offense, too. And I like what he's doing on special teams as well.
A deep snapper is going to be important in this game. It's going to be a slippery ball, and getting that football back to the punter is going to be oh so important, and this one is a good snap. The punt very high, but not very deep. And it bounces at the Farmington 39, and then back a yard to the 40. It looks like the official will mark it at the Farmington 39-yard line. And we'll meet the Farmington offense now. Aaron Mays, the center, Zach Grief, Austin Herbst, the guards. Austin, the Sultan Rider again, and man, the tackle spot. We'll see who comes out as the starting running back. They've got a couple of options now with Anthony Greco and Grant Hopkins. Colton Coulter injured this week with a concussion, so he will not be available. Grant Hopkins is going to get the nod as a starter as a running back. And then off to the right side, Jared Dunlap as a wide receiver. And Greco also in the lineup as a starting wide receiver right here. Evan Dunham on the left side. Looks like Poplar Bluff just confused themselves. The linebackers were jumping in the holes that time. Their lineman noticed movement and then went ahead and hopped. And it'll be a 5-yard penalty on Poplar Bluff. It's almost like you see the defensive lineman react to a twitch on the offensive line. They reacted to their own guys twitching that time.
Yeah, they sure did. And maybe that's just a little bit, like you said, unbelievable if they only came out here right before kickoff and none of their warm-ups were done on the field. That might be an interesting cause of that,
Well, it'll be the easiest 5 yards that Farmington will get all night. They've got a 1st and 5 to start the drive. We'll introduce you to the defense of Poplar Bluff as we move along. First carry of the game goes to Grant Hopkins. 20 rushes, 109 yards for a 5.5-yard average for Hopkins on the year. He did a nice job in that game at North County. And Grant has 3 yards to start tonight, bringing up a second and short, second and just 2. Something that Justin Babe did so well is he read that mesh point on that counter tray last week, and the best running place for Farmington was when he rode his back through the hole and then ran it himself. Boy, those outside legs were just there for all night for Justin Babe, and he just did a terrific job of executing that. A little bit of room that time, though, for Farmington. And now Bain does the same thing, and here it is, Luke to the 40. Bain breaks the tackle to the 45, speedily sees out of the 30-yard line. A rip off of 22 yards by Justin Bain, right on cue.
Yeah, like we said, if it works, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And Farmington got it going last week, and they're kind of using the same game plan, and why not?
Farmington quickly gets to the line right here. Dame heads the troops over there. Hopkins just to his left, twins to the left side. Copper Lynch in there at a wide receiver spot, and twins to the right side as well. And Farmington hoping to put their first drive of the game into the end zone. They've got it at that Poplar Bluff 30-yard line. Dame back of the gun. Looks like he was getting ready to take the snap now. Everybody looks off to the left side. See if the coaches want to change the play. 8:53 and counting down this first quarter clock. No score as of yet. Farmington's first drive of the game. Farmington defense turned Poplar Bluff away 3 and out on the Mules' first drive. Here's the snap, and Bain keep it once again. This time Bain's tackled right at the line, and it's Alex Lewis knifing through to make the stop.
Well, nice job there by the defensive line. Interior defensive line just kind of collapsing there and not letting Bain get too much on there. And like I said, Anthony Greco back at wide receiver. I like that move last week. He get a little bit more speed out there, a little bit more athleticism.
Yeah, he did a nice job. Lewis plays linebacker along with Drew Dowd, Darius Sales, T.J. Boner. The linebackers, Boner, a good one. Quentin Michael, James Patterson are tackles. Jacob Sliger, Antonio Mathis are the ends. Bain trying to throw for the first time. He put it right on his man, but the ball is dropped by Dunlap. I saw Dunlap dropping a few balls in pregame, Luke, and conditions do make it a little bit hard to catch, but Bain put it right there. Would have been a 7-yard gain. Cornerbacks are Maverick Kipper and Aaron Vincent, and then Kimbrell Miller is a safety. Also in there at safety for Poplar Bluff, it's Drew Dowd. So Drew Dowd moving from the linebacker to the safety spot as well. Incompletion by Ben. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, no, you were talking about Dunham dropping a few passes. He dropped a few last week, but he eventually rebounded from that and made some huge plays in that passing game.
Just a couple of yards here for Dame, and so he's got 3 carries, 24 yards. We have seen Farmington, Luke, say when we're inside the opponent's 40, it's 40 on territory, no matter what the yardage says, and they're going to do that right here as well.
Well, why not?
Trips to the right side, one man off to the left side, and the single setback is Hopkins standing beside Dame. Everybody looks over the left sideline, and the rain picking up now a little bit more, with Farmington trying to drive the ball on what you would think would be a passing down, 4th and 9. Bain surveys the defense, barks it out, gets the snap, and he's looking downfield for Dunlap. Has him. Dunlap diving forward, needed about the 21-yard line, maybe the 20. It's going to be close. It's going to be right foot, left foot mark. The officials, to me, look like they've marked it just a little bit short.
Well, it sure does, and they're going to call that Poplar Bluff ball.
Not a bad idea. You know, he hit Dunlap a little bit shy of the first down mark, but he soon out. And Dunlap was going to be able to gain a few extra yards, just didn't quite happen. You give Poplar Bluff credit for that.
Well, and Jared Dunlap, he's been kind of quiet the last few weeks, and he's usually a pretty slick player there. At that time, you got to know to get past those down markers, though, if you're going to go for it on fourth down.
So Drew Dowd started this game as the quarterback, and he comes back for the second series as well. Play action fake, pump fake. Now Dowd is under pressure, and he goes down. Drew Dowd hits the turf. Zach Grief all over him. Austin DeSolt to help out, but that was Grief right there. There's one thing Grief can do is he can just blow stuff up. There are very few people that can stay between Grief and the ball, and a big sack by Grief on a 7-yard loss.
Well, Zach Grief picking up where he left off last week. I mean, he gave that Cape Central quarterback fit all night long, and I'm glad to see he's back in there playing with that same intensity. Fun football player, 2nd and 17. And so Dowd back in that quarterback spot once again. Fakes the handoff. Drew's going to run it himself this time, and Ryder Garrett throws him down. Good job by Ryder. And the linebacker just to read the play and react, and slides over to the left side and throws down Dowd. But Dowd did manage to pick up 5 yards. And a 3rd and 2, or a 3rd and 12 coming up. 2 yards just to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Poplar Bluff, similar to Cape in the respect that they don't really like to pass it a lot. They will pass it, and I'm sure, like last week, Cape showed that they can pass it, but not really their strong point.
Well, Dowd has not passed it this year, really. Alex Lewis has. Cortez Ellis has been their starter. And so Dowd looking for his first completion of the year. He breaks the pocket this time, and he's got some room to run. He breaks 2 tackles. Now 3, and rushes out across the 35 to the 36-yard line again. 16 yards for Drew Dowd. That was a heck of a run.
It sure was, and it looked like Farmington had him sacked there for a loss. We thought we were about to see his first pass of the season or a huge sack for Farmington. We've seen neither. Dowd makes a heck of a play and picks up a first down.
That's only Dowd's 4th rush of the year, and he had 14 yards before that run, and so he picks up more yards on that rush than he has all year combined. Dowd running the shotgun here. 2 wide receivers right and 2 to the left. Cornelius Timothy, the lone setback. He stands wide to the right side of Dowd, and it's a straight quarterback keeper this time as Dowd just tries to sprint to the far sideline and once again breaks 2 tackles. He cut back on Ryder Garrett that time and forced him to miss before Trent Hughes finally closed it out on a gain of 7 yards.
Boy, Dowd did a nice job there, just running to the sideline. Whenever he saw his opportunity, cut it upfield and picked up a nice gain there.
There's no deception there. It was a straight snap on a shotgun, just try to out-sprint everybody to the corner there. And a good cutback by Dowd along the way. So Dowd has a first down, looking for another one on a 2nd and 3. Dowd back in the gun. He stands about 7 yards deep and gives it off to Cornelius Timothy. Timothy, the little speedster right here, trying to outrun people to the corner, can't do it that time. He is tracked down and bumped, and a great defensive play by Grant Hopkins right there as he threw Timothy for a yard loss.
Yeah, Timothy, a speedster on this team, and Hopkins did a great job of just running their line of scrimmage with him, and wasn't able, like the previous play, Dowd got to turn it upfield. Doesn't allow Timothy to do that this time, and a great stop setting up 3rd down.
3rd and 3 after a yard loss. 4:26 and counting down in this first quarter of play, and the rain picking up even more as we roll along in this first quarter. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on Super Talk 800. Well, you can watch the game at mymoinfo.com. Just go to KREI Web TV. First down, 3 yards away, and I think they just got 3 yards. A nice push that time by Jordan Evans. Jordan Evans, the new running back in the ball game for Poplar Bluff that time. Needed 3 and got 3. So a couple of first downs for Poplar Bluff.
Well, that one was a little more conventional, just kind of pounding the ball away, picked it up 10 yards, as opposed to the last one where the quarterback had to scamper for about 16.
It looked like he was going to get thrown down for a loss, too, as you mentioned in that one. Poplar Bluff still on their side of the field. 1st and 10. They've got a thrown 47-yard line, and back to pass is Dowd. Throws it, swings it to his left side. The officials do not blow the whistle. That ball looked to me, Luke, like it was thrown forward, but the officials have ruled that it was indeed a backward pass. I'm a little surprised with this because the ball went out of bounds 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Dowd was set up on the snap 7 yards past the line of scrimmage. And so I don't know if he throws it backward, how it actually ended up 3 yards forward of that.
Well, that football got a funny way of bouncing, and I was almost looking at it from here. It almost did look like it went a little backwards. But
to you? Okay.
I'm not trying to show you up, Chad, but I'm telling you what I know.
No, yeah.
But yeah. Apparently that's what they're going to call it, though.
Yep,
so.
and indeed they did. And they put it right at the line of scrimmage. So they're saying it went out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage as well. Two backs out there now, Timothy and Emmons. And down comes down under center. He gives it to Timothy as Zach Grieve grabs on, throws him down. And it was Greco in there to help out. And it looked like the ball came loose, but not before Timothy was down. And Timothy stays down as well. A gain of a yard on the play for Timothy. And we certainly hope that that young man is okay. 3:36 on this first quarter clock. No score as of yet, and it's going to be a 3rd and 8 coming up for Poplar Bluff as Cornelius Timothy is down on the turf. Well, let's give Timothy a little injury timeout, and we're back to Poplar Bluff after this 30-second pause on KREI.
If you want to enter motorcycle heaven, step inside one of Donaldson Cycle's 3 stores. You won't be dreaming when you see no money down and as low as 3.99 financing on Yamaha machines with approved credit. You won't be dreaming when you discover you can get up to $700 customer cash or a Warren winch when you purchase a Grizzly 450, 550, or 700 ATV. Or you learn that you can save up to $2,000 on Yamaha street bikes. Donaldson Cycles has been motorcycle riders' heaven for 50 years in St. Anne, South County, or Fort Municipal Drive right here in Park Hills.
No score as of yet in our game. 3:36 remaining in the first quarter. And Poplar Bluff has its second offensive possession. They've got it at their own 49-yard line on a 3rd and 8. And good to see Cornelius Timothy coming off under his own power. He's limping and he's holding his right hip, but he's coming off on his own. Let's thank Midwest Convenient Care in Farmington and Bonne Terre. Let's Discount Home Center in Farmington. Show Me Rent to Own. Buckley Towing in Park Hills. Midwest Orthopedic Group in Farmington and American Family Insurance, Bill Best in Park Hills, a few of our sponsors that allow us to bring you Farmington football right here on KREI. We heard that there was a delay, a lightning delay, to start the St. Genevieve and Fredericktown football game. That game on J98 tonight. So we'll see if we can get word that has indeed started yet. Or you can just tune into J98 and look for yourself. We're busy doing this stuff. Here's Dow dropping back. No, it's not that. It's Cortez Ellis sneaking in the ball game. He completes it to Kimball Miller. And Kimball Miller needed 8, and he picks up 9. And a good flip by Cortez Ellis. He's played their starting quarterback role for 3 games. And he's their best passer on the team. And you can see why right there as Ellis completes it for 10 yards to Kimball Miller, his favorite target.
Well, that was a nice little throw there, catch and run. But I tell you what, if Cortez Ellis comes in the game, you ought to know they're going to pass it. If he's the guy that's going to pass the ball, and Farmers is able not to sniff that one out.
He can run it as well. Cortez, 65 carries, just 2.5 yards per. I wonder if Drew Dow got injured. Here's Ellis, and Ellis breaks the pocket. This dude can run. He got there fast now, and he's taken down by Ryder Garrett on a gain of 6 yards. He looks really quick.
Yeah, it was a quick play, and luckily Ryder Garrett was there to meet him about 6 yards downfield. Otherwise, that one had to potentially be a really big play.
Ellis gains 5 on the play. I wonder what's going on with that quarterback spot. Timothy came out. Well, there's Down on the near sideline, and it looks like he is getting some attention to his right hand is bleeding, I think, Luke. And so Ellis comes down right under center. They're going to go with a straight QB sneak on a 2nd and 5. And he leans forward for 2 yards. So Ellis with a couple of carries, 7 yards now. Well, Poplar Bluff lost 2 guys on one play. Their quarterback, Dowd. And then they're running back Cornelius Timothy. They lost a young man earlier this week to a chipper accident where he was shredding wood, and he actually lost his thumb. Jake Williams.
Wow. He was up here in the booth earlier today, and he looks like he's a pretty good spirit considering all things.
3rd and 3, and now a flag before the play develops. 1:55 on this first quarter clock, and an illegal procedure penalty against Poplar Bluff. That's their 3rd penalty of the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, this offensive drive already chewing up some clock in this first quarter, and, Poplar Bluff, you remember a couple weeks ago, they gave Sykeston a heck of a game.
They did.
And we know how good Sykeston is right now, undefeated.
That was a good game. That was a 19-7 ball game. Look, their defense really played well in that one. So Cortez Ellis, the quarterback, he's back at the gun. Has two wides to each side now. Looking to the left side, Kimbrell Miller. This one's underthrown, and Trey Hampson came back. He touched it, but couldn't quite pick it off. That was a tough throw, and you could tell that the wet ball, not only wet, but waterlogged ball, really affected that throw for Ellis.
Yeah, it sure did. And Trey Hampson just couldn't get himself in a position to make the interception there, but great play.
We've seen that out of Trey a lot this year. We've seen a lot of almost interceptions from Trey, and what that means is he's in good position.
He is. He's playing a heck of a game.
Darius Sales comes on the front of the row once again, and there's Anthony Greco back to receive. That heavy ball was hard to put a good distance for Sales last time. This time, though, he gets into it and turns it over. This one going over in, but he did push it off to the left a little bit. And as the official walks back, Farmington will set up shop at their own 22-yard line. Took him a while to put aside, and he settled on the 22, it looks like.
Oh, the punt landed out here on the track. So it might kind of hard to judge where it came out, but it took a left turn on him, didn't it? Yeah, we were talking about how nice that drive was for Poplar Bluff, and all really did a little switch of field position there and eat up some clock. And, Farmington luckily was able to bend but not break on that drive.
How many plays?
11 plays.
And 11, so they
started on the own 20 and basically drove it almost all the way to Farmington's 20.
Okay. So Farmington's offense back on the field. Justin Dame directing this offense. Greco the motion man. And there's Hopkins. They're going to run an option play to the left side. You don't see a whole lot of option out of Farmington. There's a good reason for it. As Dame shoves it forward for a couple of yards, if you really want to run an option, you kind of just have to be an option team, and you have to spend a lot of time working on it because it's such a timing play.
Oh, sure. It's a tough thing to get down, and, you got something you got to start working on back in the summer.
So a gain of 3. Looks like a pretty good mark for Bain that time. And now great blocking as Grant Hopkins grabs it. He's got a hole to run through. And Hopkins stutter steps and then punched right through where that left tackle was and rips off an 11-yard gain. Great job by Herbst, Garrett, Moose, and company up front.
It sure was. And some of the best blocking that I think I've seen Farmington do here so far definitely tonight and maybe in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, nice job. And a little hesitation that by Hopkins right there. Did a good job holding, waiting for the blocks to develop, and then burst through the open hole. So 1st and 10 for Farmington. They've got it at their own 39-yard line. Dame and Hopkins in the backfield. Trips to the right side for Dame. Quick pass off to the right side, and there's the completion to Calvin Lynch. Lynch picks up a block, but there's not much more as he gains just a pair.
Maybe just a little pass right now to kind of keep the defense honest, but with the weather and the elements right now, I think Farmington's having their best success running the ball, and that's something they really haven't been able to say up until last week with Bain. But really their running backs just weren't a factor earlier. But nice to see them getting some work tonight.
We saw a short pass to the trip side worked to great effect last week, mostly to Evan Donovan. Bain's got him on a 2nd and 8 snap to him. He's going to run that keeper this time and shoves it forward. You wouldn't know. Justin Dame weighs 165 pounds. This kid runs tough, though. He's wiry. He looks skinny, but he is a tough dude in a gain of 5 yards.
Throwing around that 165.
End of the first quarter, no score as of yet. The defenses have dominated on this rainy night in Poplar Bluff. 0-0 our score. And we're back with your second quarter of play. Farmington will have a 3rd and 3 from their own 45-yard line after this 1-minute pause on KREI. Well, Swift moving the first quarter, and we are ready for the first play of the second quarter. As Justin Dame goes back to pass, he's in the shotgun, scrambles, and then whistles it through the hands of Evan Miller. That pass a little high, and had a little mustard on it. He shot that one out there pretty quick, and Farmington will bring on his punt team with a 4th and 3 on the Knights side of the field.
It was a nice play by Justin to keep it away. He almost got sacked there. Did a little pump fake and was able to break out of that would-be tackler. And I thought the pass was a little high, but I thought it was definitely catchable for Evans.
Austin Bissell comes on. Jordan Evans steps back to receive. He's lined up at his own 25-yard line. Bissell takes his time, an end-over-end punt. Hops at the 25, rolls down to the 21-yard line. Evans pulls a little okey-doke as he pretended like he was going to pick it up, but then didn't. I always think that's so dangerous. You do that thing takes one bad hop, and all of a sudden it hits you, and
and your coaches are definitely not going to be happy about that. And I don't even know what good it does it do to try to fake up the ball.
So the Poplar Bluff defense, or offense, beg your pardon, back on the field. No score in this one. 15 seconds into the second quarter. It's a fun one, though. These two teams hit one another. Defense is playing well. Offenses have both made plays, but just haven't completely clicked. And Cortez Ellis, the quarterback, once again, he's going to run the straight keeper to the right side, looking for the corner, cuts back and driven down. Huge hit right there by Farmington's Austin DeSolts. That's one of our crown collisions right there. Austin DeSolts came over from that defensive end spot. That was a big hit, but not before Cortez Ellis gained 5 yards.
No, it sure was. And tell you what, Poplar Bluff's content right now. They want to get their big playmakers to the outside. They saw Cape have a little bit of success last week at that, and that might be where Farmington's the most vulnerable.
Tristan Francisco, a wide right receiver to the left side. Emmons over there as well. To the right side, it's Coleman. And the running back is B. Wynn. The other running back, Cornelius Timothy, we saw him limp off in the first quarter, and he's still right down there at the end of the bench and still trying to shake off that injury. He's holding his right hip. A flag before the play even started, and now the officials going to come together to discuss this thing. The flag is way over on the edge of the field, right along that sideline on the Farmington side, and it's going to be an offside penalty against the Knights to give Poplar Bluff a first down. First penalty against Farmington tonight.
Well, the motion man there, I think, is kind of what spooked the defensive line and really threw him offside and gave him a free first down there.
Farmington had a great week for them last week, 39-36 over Cape Central. And, Luke, I know we covered an accomplished Farmington team that set some team records last year. As the snap goes back to Cortez Ellis. He hands it off the wind and fumbles it. The exchange just never happened on this soggy field, and Farmington grabs a hold of it. It's Zach Grief grabs it for Farmington, and the Knights going to have a 1st and 10 at the Poplar Bluff 30-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, a fumble recovery was huge in sparking this offense last week, and just setting up pretty nicely for Farmington right there. And the exchange between Ellis and Wynn right there just never really took place. And like you said, a little bit slick. You got to deal with the elements tonight. Huge opportunity for Farmington.
So the Knights have it with great field position. Here's Grant Hopkins, a single step back beside Dame, a pass over to the right side, and Poplar Bluff read that one well. There was really no chance to complete that play. Trips wide receivers off to the right side. Fortunately for Dame, his throw was short, which made it impossible to intercept because they were all over that thing.
They were, and just watching it develop, you almost thought there was a possibility of it being intercepted and going the other way, but just a little bit too short for anybody to catch.
Dame tonight 2 for 4, or 11 yards. Knights football, 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line. And Dame fakes it, now keeps it, now throws it right side Dunlap. And Dunlap driving his way down the field. A tough run, didn't gain much. Gained about 3 yards, but it was a hard-earned 3 yards. But now a flag, and we'll have to see what this is all about.
That was definitely an odd play to watch it develop, kind of a play action.
There was a lot going on there.
Dame looks like he follows his running back like we see him do on those fakes a lot. And then he ran back and kind of ran horizontal with the line of scrimmage and then threw the ball. And
looks like they picked up the flag.
Didn't get much out of it, even though there was a lot going on.
Dunlap gained 3 yards on that one. Farmington ball, they've got a 3rd and 8. Dame set Hopkins up to his left side now. Twins to each side. Dame back to pass. He's under pressure. Fires it out to the far sideline. Nice catch. Right along the sideline. It's Greca tapping his toes before he shoved that out. It would bring up a 4th and 2, but there's another flag on the play on the far sideline.
Not sure what this penalty could be, but like you said, goes back to Greco. And an extra athlete out there with that speed.
Boy, Greco, not only a great athlete, but terrific hands by Greco. Luke, do you take this penalty? Do you make it 3rd and 12 for Farmington, or do you want a 4th and 2 closer to your goal line?
Well, if I'm Poplar Bluff, I got a hard time giving Farmington only 2 yards to make a first down. I say go back right now. Farmington's passing game hasn't been that crisp. They have broke a few good runs, though. But right now, I'd say maybe make them pass it if I'm Poplar Bluff.
I agree with you. So Farmington indeed will scoop back 5 yards, and Coach Bruce agrees with you. So Farmington now will have a 3rd, and it looks like 13. And they've got it at the 33-yard line of Poplar Bluff. 10 minutes, 32 seconds remaining in our first half. No score in our ball game. Boy, Greco with a terrific set of hands over there. I thought there was a chance that could be one of our Captain D's catch of the game, but it was not to be. 3rd and 13. Twins to each side. Baines back in the gun, gets the snap, and throws it to the right side, and Donovan couldn't hang on. Split 3 night. 4th and 13 for Farmington. They'll go for it. Oh, too far to kick it, for sure. Too short to punt it, for sure. But the Farmington philosophy, pretty much, we're inside their 40, we're going for it anyway. Twins to each side, so Bain back in the gun. Going to try to find somebody at least 13 yards away. Hopkins going to be the single set back to his right. It's Greco and Donovan to the right side. Dunlap and Lynch off to the left side. Bain looking for his first real good completion down the field. Largest gain through the air so far has been 9 yards. They'll need more than that for a first down here. He fires it over the middle, in and out of the hands of Greco, and picked off by Kendall Miller. Miller's got it in the middle of the field and then taken down by Donovan at the 20-yard line. Greco had a chance at that. It was a pretty well-thrown ball, I thought, early, but perhaps a little bit behind Greco, I guess.
Well, and like you said, maybe on a dry night you can bring that one in. Right now, slippery balls. The field's a little wet, can't make those good cuts. And a little bit behind him, and that's a play that Farmington likes to run. Just pretty much all goes. With Greco coming out of the slot there, just couldn't haul it in. And what a nice play there on the defensive back.
With the short field, too, Farmington had it at the Poplar Bluff 30-yard line to start that drive. Couldn't do anything with it. And I think maybe you might see the Knights rededicate themselves to the running game in the next possession. A pass over the middle that time, and Cortez Ellis jumping up and down. He said, I had my man, and I overthrew him. Jordan Emmons was indeed open in the middle of the field. Well, that was the same play the Farmington were trying to run on 4th down a while ago. Just send your guys all goes there, and the slot receiver wide open. Ellis just overthrew his man, like you said. Otherwise, that could have been 6. I know our sample size is pretty small here, but to me, Cortez Ellis looks more dynamic than Drew Dowd.
Well, Dowd's still over here on the sidelines, and Ellis, he seems to be pretty good managing the offense.
Ellis going to drop back, set up, and then run that QB draw as he bolts right out of the pocket and straight through. Taken down by Trent Hughes. A gain of 7 yards ago. It was a little bit like Justin Bain on that.
He did. Had enough to play that Farmington likes to run, and, Bain had some success with that, and I think Ellis looks like the type of player that can, too.
New wide receiver checking in for Poplar Bluff. That's Michael Vandover. So Vandover, new wide receiver. And he's going to line up on the left side. Ellis coming down under center, and he's got split backs behind him. Ellis boxed out. They'll run a stretch play to the right side. Emmons in the backfield, hit once, twice, and he's down right there, just about right at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration by the Farmington defense. Not only strung it out, but got off those blocks as well.
Sure did, and the tackler back there, I didn't see who it was.
It was DeSolt, I believe.
He just kind of shoulder bumped Ellis there and tells you just how strong he is, and sent him down to the ground.
4th and 2, and really too dangerous to punt from your own, or to go for it from your own 28-yard line, especially on a night like this when points are so important. You don't want to give Farmington that short field again. Anthony Greco going to drop back to receive this punt, and Darius Sales is the punter. He's gotten some good snaps so far in this one. And the snap is true once again. Sales knocks this one high. I mean, that's a great punt. You got some distance on that as well. And it bounces at the 30 across the 20 inside of the 15 to the 10-yard line. Holy moly. He punted up 70 yards, Luke Mill.
Well, that was a heck of a punt, and man.
Oh, what night.
We thought Farmington was going to get some good field position, but what a job by the Poplar Bluff Mules special teams there.
Darius Sales. My goodness, what a punt by that guy. For Farmington, the offense has not been able to score on the short field. When they call long field now, they've got 90 yards to navigate. 8:31 remaining in the first half of play, and no score as of yet. Grant Hopkins is going to be the running back. Justin Dame, the quarterback. 1st and 10 for Farmington at their own 10-yard line. But I sure look for them to go back to the running game here. Let's see. With the passing game kind of stalling out last drive. They went over the sideline. And now they're going to run the old check with me and maybe change the play. Bame, back in the gun, wants to throw it again. They think they've got something on the far sideline, but no, the defensive coverage rolled over, and The coverage was very good on Evan Donovan, and a nice job by Drew Dowd that time coming from the safety spot to be the second man over there.
Well, I think after 6 games in the season, it's pretty obvious that Evan Donovan is going to be the number 1 target, and I think teams are starting to pick up on that. And third all year, I'd like to see Justin Bain get a few more receivers involved a little bit more than he has in the past.
Second and 10, and Farmington has it at its own 10-yard line. 8:25 on this second quarter clock. And Bain has Hopkins beside it. Off to his left. Here's the snap. Bain gets to run that straight keeper. Finds a hole. He crosses the 10 and then wrestled out at the 15-yard line. A gain of 5 yards. And that tackle made right there at the 15. I really thought that's what we might see on first down. I thought the Farmington Knights might go straight back to the run, but it took them an extra down to do so. Bain with 6 carries and 36 yards so far tonight. 8 minutes even remaining in this first half of play. T.J. Boner's a great middle linebacker for Poplar Bluff coming over to make the stop. Baines got Hopkins to his right side now, 3rd and 5. Baines goes back to throw once again, looks over the middle. This one batted and nearly intercepted. I'm a little confused, Luke, as to why the Knights insist on throwing it on a night that it's tough to catch the ball, it's tough to throw the ball, and they're really not in sync, and yet they seem to be running the ball reasonably effectively.
You know, that's what I thought, too. They're breaking off some nice runs there, and it looked like the running backs of Farmington, Grant Hopkins especially, picking up some nice chunky yards. They've abandoned the run, though, here, especially on this drive.
Well, the Mules looking to flip the field here. They did it on a 70-yard punt, and then the defense stopping Farmington. But the Soul trying to punt his team out of the hole. Great move by him. Grabbed at the 50-yard line and taken over to the left side by Jordan Emmons. Gains 6 yards on the return. Good job by Zach Grief on the coverage. Zach Grief tackled 2 players there. The guy trying to block him and the ball carrier. Boy, what a great special. That might be a crown collision there. Can we call that a crown collision?
2 guys. The guy blocking you, one at each arm. I've never seen anything like that. But I'll tell you what, Chad, if you're a fan of Major League Baseball and you're from the Atlanta area, you can't be a fan of the 2-team wild card right now, because after 94 wins in the regular season and the one-and-done game, you're done. Go Cardinals.
6-3 final?
6-3 to final.
All right, here's a pass over the middle. Did Kimball Miller get it? No, but wow, what an effort by him. He dove flat out in the middle of the field, extended that left arm, and landed at Anthony Greco's feet, but it almost, Luke, he almost one-mitted that with his left arm in midair.
That would have been pretty impressive.
Not a bad ball. It wasn't a perfect ball by Ellis, but it wasn't a bad ball. Ellis going to come out now. Drew Dowd is back in, so they're running a turnstile of quarterbacks over there. So Dowd's back in, and he's got B. Wynn beside him, just to his right. Dowd going to run the straight QB keeper off to the right side, looks for the corner. He's got the 30 to 35 coming out at the 33-yard line. And that's just enough for a first down. I guess they made the right decision. Dowd just got a first down on a gain of 10 yards.
Well, I don't think there was anything that Ellis was doing wrong, but obviously Dowd was the chosen starter, and obviously he's healthy enough to get back in the game. That's who Poplar Bluff wants to go with.
Both pretty good athletes. Time out on the field now. 7:19 remaining in this first half. No score, and a timeout taken by the Farmington defense. Well, we'll see what they adjust to, and we'll tell you about that coming up after this 1-minute pause on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Coles Tractor and Equipment wants you to know that for over 30 years, LS Tractors have delivered quality, value, and performance. Coles Tractor and Equipment would like to invite you to stop by and discover LS Tractors have more standard features than any other leading brand. 5-year warranty, Mitsubishi engine, R4 industrial tires, independent push-button PTO, and more, with the best price going. Great financing? They have it. Low 1.9% available with no money down to qualified buyers. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Coles Tractor and Equipment, 1 mile east of Farmington. 573-756-4353.
When it comes to collision repair on your vehicle, call Brad Wooten and the team at Crown Collision Center. For 9 straight years, Crown Collision Center has been ranked 3rd in the nation in customer satisfaction at 98%. Recognized by Motor Trend magazine, they perform all collision repairs on any make and model, foreign or domestic. All done by factory-trained certified technicians and they're 5-star rated. State-of-the-art facility, and all work carries a written lifetime warranty. Call Brad Wooten for your collision repair at Crown Collision Center, 800-996-2566.
B-Win gets the carry on a 1st and 10, and Zach Grief comes in to pound him down to the turf again, a couple of yards by B. Wynn. Well, Luke, we do have some rainy conditions, and certainly that's part of what we're describing to folks, but our St. Genevieve and Fredericktown game delayed, it looks like, till at least 8 o'clock with some lightning over there, and lightning wreaking havoc with some Bismarck and Irondale Ameren customers, about 2,000 customers without power right now. It looks like they will be that way till about 1 o'clock in the morning. So, well, I guess we count ourselves lucky right here.
Boy, it's cold up here, but at least we got some electricity, and hope those people get their electric back as soon as they can.
Yeah, and I hope St. John and Fredericktown can play some football. We're going to have a late end zone show tonight.
Well, it's homecoming down there, so they must be wanting that prime time slot all themselves.
That's probably it. Yeah, that's probably it.
It's going to be a heck of a game, too, St. John and Fredericktown. Wow.
Yeah, Fredericktown, a much-improved team, and St. John has slipped a notch. Twins to the left and one wide to the right side, but also a tight end over there. And it's Cortez Ellis back in the game. He's looking deep, and the ball snapped out of the air on a deflection and then nearly intercepted. Trey Emson said, no, I grabbed it off the ground. I intercepted it. The official, though, indicating an incomplete pass. But either way, a great job by Greco to slap it and deflect it, and then Amson diving in. Looked like he picked it off. And are they going to change the ruling? Yes, they are. They're going to change the ruling and say, indeed, that was an interception. They initially indicated incomplete, then they gathered and talked to one another. And they say, interception by Trey Amson. Now, for Amson, that's his second interception of the year. Now, he got tons that were probably easier than that. That was incredibly hard, and he grabbed it.
Well, Anthony Greco get the assist on that? I mean, that was like a basketball play. You just kind of tapped it over there to him, and
I think he does. You know what? I'm going with that. Right now is our catch of the game. We might have another one, but our Captain D's catch of the game, get more crunch for your lunch at Captain D's across from the Family Center on Highway 221 in Farmington. Terrific catch by Trey Emson on the interception. Now a fumble. There are players everywhere. Poplar Bluff indicating that they think they have it. Farmington has it. Oh, mercy. They dodged one there, Luke. I mean, they would have given the ball back inside of their own 10. Wow. Did Greco run that? That was Hopkins there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with those white and gold butters.
No gain on the play. Well, the Farmington offense just hasn't found traction yet. Bame deploys two wides to each side. Got Hopkins just to his left. Bame with his heels just outside of his own end zone. Picks up a block. Now picks up a second block. Cuts back again. And Justin Bame diving across the 15-yard line. Led every block perfectly and gained 11 yards. That's a terrific run.
Boy, it was. And we've seen a bunch of those out of him last week, but only I think that's only the second time he's really had some success doing that tonight.
Yep, had a 22-yard carry on his very first carry, but that's his only other double-digit carry, 11 yards for him. But he's running the ball effectively, 7 carries, 47 yards.
Well, we like to see him going back to the run a little bit more, especially since that last drive kind of ended a 3-and-out.
What a year for Bame. He's rushed for 439 yards on the season, 173 of those coming last week on 40 carries. He runs the straight keeper, tries to take it up the middle this time, and he's done. No gain on the play for Bame there. As a passer this year, Justin, 80 for 145, 55%, not bad. 857 yards passing. That's 143 per game. What he'd like to get flipped is that touchdown to interception ratio. 6 touchdowns for him and 8 picks. 5 minutes to go in our first half, no score. Farmington with a 2nd and 10. They've got it at their own 17-yard line. They throw the out route that's just by Kimball Miller, and you can say goodbye. Kimball Miller was all over that baby at the 17-yard line, and there was nobody between him and the end zone. Poplar Bluff comes up with the first score of the game with the 17-yard interception return for the touchdown by Kimball Miller, and the defense the only side to score. 4:54 remaining in the first half, and Poplar Bluff now up 6-0.
Well, Anthony Greco was the wide receiver on that out route, and he didn't look like he was on the same page as Justin Bame. And, boy, Kimber Miller was, though, because he read that perfectly. And even a little showboating on the way back to the house, a little prime time Deion Sanders there. No penalty flag, though, and it's going to hold up. The kicker comes on. Colin Jones, also the tight end on this team, trying to tack on the extra. The snap is good. The hold is down. And the kick sails up and through. 4:54 remaining in the first half.
And on the interception return for the touchdown by Kimbrough Miller, it's Poplar Bluff 7, Farmington nothing. Nice one to see the kickoff when we come back in a minute right here on AM 800 KREI.
Need it, want it, rent it, own it. Come to Show Me Rent to Own.
Hi, I'm Gary Romine, owner of Show Me Rent to Own. If you can hear this ad, then there's a Show Me Rent to Own location near you. Want a new laptop or big screen TV? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. Need a new washer and dryer? Shop Show Me Rent to Own. We have what you want and need. Want it, need it, rent it, own it. Show Me Rent to Own.
The Show You Rental Company of the Show Me State.
Hi, this is Kathy Java from Long John Silver's and A&W, where exciting things are happening, like our new onion rings made with our delicious signature batter. Try them in a basket with 2 pieces of fish and hush puppies for just $4.99. Or check out our A&W 2 cheeseburger combo for just $5.99. Wow, 2 great deals under one roof. That's Long John Silver's and A&W, conveniently located in Farmington's Maple Valley Center.
Colin Jones to kick it off for Poplar Bluff, our Auto Spa Car Wash halftime show. Auto Spa Car Wash is in Farmington Delores, might be abbreviated tonight. No highlights in our game. The St. Genevieve Fredericktown game hasn't even started, so Tom won't have a whole lot to tell us about. Maybe some scores from around the area. That's all right. We can come back here and discuss a few things. Brayton Bowe is the return man. He grabs it at the 10, rushes it out to the 30, and then a late flag thrown in for good measure. Farmington's line of scrimmage right now would be their own 30, but we'll see what the flag does in terms of changing that field position. What hasn't clicked in the offense, Luke?
Well, I think whenever they went to the passing game, it just doesn't seem like the receivers and Justin May were on the same page right now. A lot of high passes, and a couple of different times looks like they haven't even been sure on the same route if the quarterbacks knows, So, something that's very correctable. A little odd to see, because we thought they were really starting to click last week.
2 interceptions by Kimbrough Miller. This kid has a nose for the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does, and he's put himself in pretty good position each time there.
Kimbrough Miller's first 2 picks of the year. He's having a terrific defensive game. Farmington called for holding on the return, and so they'll scoot the ball inside of their 20. 1st and 10 for the Knights at their own 18-yard line. 4:48 remaining in this first half, and the Knights have ventured inside of Poplar Bluff territory a couple of times. Don't have any points to show for it, though. Anthony Greco comes in at running back now. Greco gets the handoff, and he is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but then runs through the arm tackle and shoves forward for a 5-yard gain. That was James Patterson that wrapped him up, 6'3", 255 pounds, and Greco just out-muscled him. Greco's got a tremendous bench press, 300-pound bench presser, one of the strongest guys to ever come through the program.
Oh, sure thing. God, I played with a guy who was a running back similar to that, and he could bench press close to 300, if not more. And same type of player, just break tackle at ease.
They take it for Greco this time. Bain keeps it, and just not much happening there. T.J. Boner wraps him up there. Gain of just a yard for Bain. Bain looking like he perhaps might be on his way to another 100-yard rushing night. 9 carries for him and 48 yards. 4 minutes left in the first half, and the Knights still with about 70 yards to go for the end zone. Greco in at running back, 3rd and just a couple here. Greco standing to the right of Bain. Hands it off to Greco, and Greco's got a hole. Anthony cuts back to the right side. Makes the tackle. He's from the 40 to the 45 midfield now. 45-40. Greco still runs another man to the 35-yard line. Anthony Greco giving this team a spark. A gain of 37 yards on the bolts down the right side.
Boy, nice bit of running there by Greco. You called it, Chad, and boy, he just pushed some guys away and made a few holes and a few cutbacks. And that field right now is a little slick, but hey, it works both ways.
Now there's a flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage, but guess what, Luke? It's against the Mules.
Boy.
Well, welcome back, Anthony Greco, right, to that running back position. That was a tremendous run. A couple of really nice runs for him on this drive.
Well, it sure was, and we really haven't seen a good dose of him since the first week of the season, especially in that running back position.
Well, Greco came in with just 10 carries on the year, 52 yards. Well, he's got 43 yards on 2 rushes tonight, and looking good. So 1st and 10 for the Knights. 3:34 on this first half clock. Twins to each side. And the offensive line doing a nice job giving Greco little room to run, and then Greco would break a few tackles along the way as well. They fix it to him this time. Justin goes right through the middle, and he's down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 3. That'll work.
A little bit of time, chew up some of that clock.
The defenses have been solid tonight, but the offenses, I won't say they've been bad. They just seem like they're one click away. 2nd and 7. Dame works from the gun. Greco to his right. 2 wides to each side. Farmington has run the ball exclusively on this drive, and to great effect as Greco gets it away again. Greco breaks the tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but then 3 more men pounce on top of him. And they mark him for no gain. I thought maybe he gained a yard there. Daniel Francisco wrapped him up, but they say no gain for Greco. Give him a mark right at the line of scrimmage, and 3rd and 7 upcoming for the Knights. 4-down territory for the Knights. We've seen them stall out a couple of times on 4th downs in Poplar Bluff territory. Bain back in the gun. 2 wide receivers to the left side. That's Porter and Dunlap, and twins to the right side as well. Donovan on the inside and Lynch on the outside. Greco, a good wide receiver from that running back spot as well. There's the snap. They fake it to Greco, and Bain stacked up at the line of scrimmage, but then bolts to the outside and comes back 1st down, Farmington. Bain needed 7, and he picks up 8.
Well, we talked about that in the pregame. Just the kind of the player that Justin Bain is, to put your team on your back and carry you there, and that was just a great example of the type of player he is. Stop for no gain there on 3rd down. Just gives it that second effort, bounces outside, and picks up the 1st.
Well, they'll have a measurement. It looks like we've been joined by our listeners on J98 tonight. And so we welcome our listeners on J98. The St. Genevieve's game has still not started against Fredericktown. And so we welcome you to our ball game. We have 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go before halftime here, and it's a 7-0 lead for Poplar Bluff. Their touchdown coming on a 17-yard interception return by Kimbrell Miller, a safety for this squad. The Knights have threatened a couple of times in Poplar Bluff territory. This so far looks like the most promising drive, though, as they started on their own 10-yard line, Luke. And now it's time out on the field. So we'll step aside with them. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first half. 7-0 lead for Poplar Bluff. Farmington's got a 1st and 10 at the Poplar Bluff 23-yard line when we come back in a minute on KREI.
Midwest Orthopedics Group with Dr. Scott Van Ness and Dr. Christopher Sloan are orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists who offer total joint replacements, arthroscopic surgery, carpal tunnel, fracture care, workman's compensation cases, foot care, and surgery. And new patients are welcome. All surgery and care done locally in Farmington. That's Midwest Orthopedics Group, just down from Buffalo Wild Wings in the Midwest Professional Building in Farmington. Midwest Orthopedics Group.
Are you ready for some football?
ProCare Automotive Repair in Bonne Terre is family-owned and ASC and AAA approved. ProCare repairs are backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile nationwide warranty, allowing you to drive away with confidence, not questions. Need repairs today, but more time to pay? Ask about their 6- and 12-month payment options. Find them online at ProCareForYourCar.com or call 358-1112. ProCare Automotive Repair. When it's repaired once, it's repaired right.
Back from the timeout, Poplar Bluff leads Farmington 7-0. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this first half of play. The Knights still have it with a 1st and 10 at the Poplar Bluff 23-yard line. Anthony Greco has it. Dodges to the right side and then tumbles down. That was a play that the tackle wasn't really made as a tackle. But what happened is Lontonio Mathis just blew the thing up as he took his blocker down and then tumbled into Greco as well, and the whole thing shut down from there on a gain of just 1.
Yeah, like Greco didn't fumble the ball there. He was up into his feet, went straight up in the air, and he came down hard.
So gain of just a yard and a 2nd and 9 now for the Knights. They've got it at the Poplar Bluff 22-yard line. Justin Dame barks out the signals, wants to pass it, looks to the middle, and this time it's caught by Dunlap inside of the 20, out of the 17-yard line. Farmington passing game has not really been able to get in high gear, but that was a nice play on a gain of 5 yards.
Drew Dowd, the quarterback, playing defensive back on that play, made a nice tackle on Jared Dolan, but he caught the ball. But like you said, Chad, I like it. You know, passing game hasn't been clicking, so just do some nice short passes to get it going.
3rd and 4. Calvin Lynch wide open on the right side. They want to pass it to the left side. They'll once again, and a great pass that time by Bame as he hit Dunlap right in the gut, and Dunlap goes down to the 10-yard line, a gain of 7.
Nice quick out there to Dunlap, and Dunlap did a nice job diving forward there as he went down just to make sure he had the first down.
Ball just outside of the 10. Farmington could get a first down without scoring. They'd love to score with 1 minute left in this first half. Dunlap has 4 catches for 24 yards. Greco still the running back, stands to the left side of Bame, and they hand it off to him this time. Greco cuts back, breaks the tackle, slamming his way forward across the 5 to the 3 to the 2 to the 1. A gain of 9 yards for Anthony Greco right now, and Farmington trying to work this clock just right as well with 50 seconds remaining. And the Knights have I think it will be a first and goal inside of the 1.
Well, this is Justin Bame area right here. He's so good down here on the goal line, but you got a tough running back like Anthony Greco. I want to give him the ball also. And not to take nothing away from the other running backs, Grant Hobson, he's got some speed when he gets to the outside, but, man, I don't know if there's a tougher kid right now running the ball as Anthony Greco.
They're going to measure this thing. Greco rushed for essentially 10 yards. If they got just inside of the 1-yard line, it was going to be a first down, but as they stretch the sticks, they're about 5 inches shy. So call it a 2nd and 5 inches, I suppose you'd say, just right at the 1-yard line.
2nd and 5, yeah. Well, I guess they can pick up the first down. But
they could. Justin Bame has 9 rushing touchdowns. And Greco, interestingly enough, was looking for his first rushing touchdown of the season. It's a 2nd and very, very short. And they're right at the 1-yard line. Poplar Bluff calls for a timeout. We're going to keep it right here during this pause. And we'd like to thank a few sponsors: Mineral Area College, Jim Roebke Shelter Insurance in St. Genevieve, County Do It Center in St. Jen, Accent Marketing in Farmington, Donaldson Cycles in Park Hills, Squeaks Equipment in St. Genevieve, and Long John Silver in Farmington. We've had the weather really rattle the schedules this year, and that's what's happened against St. Genevieve and Fredericktown. That game's scheduled for J98. We'll have it for you. They've just had some lightning delays over there, and so we will have that for you in its entirety. And Tom will have, presumably, he'll probably record most of the end zone interviews, and we'll have that after the games as well on regional radio. We also have found out that there is a power outage to tell you about. 2,000 Bismarck and Irondale Ameren customers without power right now, so they're listening to us in their cars or on their batteries right now, or on their smartphones. Right?
I appreciate that, yeah.
All right, so Farmington has a 2nd and very short. 2nd and about a half a foot from the 1-yard line. Justin Bame, the quarterback, Anthony Greco, the running back. Here comes the snap. Bame going to try to follow Greco into the end zone. He stopped shy initially. On second effort, he still can't get in, and a nice job by that defense to hold, and that effort led by Nick Michael, 6'4", 275-pound junior.
Well, last week we saw Justin Bame on these couple of short goal line situations really use the speed to get to the outside. Won't be surprised to see that play come out.
4th down, and Bame and Greco going to take it to the outside this time. Justin cuts back, surges forward, touchdown Farmington. 1-yard touchdown run for Justin Bame. His 10th rushing touchdown of the season. And the Knights are an extra point from tying this baby up. And Luke Bell, a 90-yard drive for Farmington.
Boy, it is, and really such a, I tell you, after the turnover there, we weren't sure how Farmington was going to respond, but what a great, efficient drive, and really running the ball as well as they have almost all year long.
Van Stavern missed the extra point, so we are not tied. It sails wide to the right, and with 21 seconds remaining before the half, Farmington trails by a point. 7-6 to score. And we're back with your kickoff in a minute, right here on Regional Radio.
By now you know that Cartridge World can fill your HP, Brother, Canon, Dell, Lexmark, and Epson laser and ink cartridges, and when they fill them, you'll always get Cartridge World's 100% satisfaction guarantee. And as they begin their 5th year in business, they say thank you to St. Francis and surrounding counties for your continued support and trust in their business. Now during this economy, doesn't it make sense to shop where you get great value and service on a product you use every day? Thanks for making Cartridge World your #1 choice in saving money. That's Cartridge World in the Maple Valley Shopping Center, Farmington.
Here we are. It's fall. Time for indoor and outdoor sports. You may need a fan for one game and a coat for another. One thing is for sure. The winter season is not far behind. Now's the time to order your school jacket in order to make sure you have it for really cold weather. Orders for Christmas should be in by November 1st. Hastings Unlimited can order school jackets for all schools in sizes up to 3X. That's Hastings Unlimited, 408 East Karsh in Farmington.
Well, that was a big drive of the game. Brought to us by ProCare Automotive and Bond Care. Soaked up clock, soaked up yardage, and scored 6 points, Luke Mel.
Oh, it sure did, Chad. And really efficient drive from Farmington, burning up the last 5 minutes of clock time, basically, in this first half. Just 21 seconds remaining now. Started on their own 18 after the big pick 6 from Poplar Bluff the other way. You know, Farmington's offense rebounded nicely there. 9 plays, 82 yards. Boy, and, you know, some big runs there by Anthony Greco, really showing his power and hustle. And Bame capping it off, a nice little run and cutback, punching it in from 1 yard out.
All right, so Farmington little bloop kickoff, and it goes out of bounds at the 39-yard line of Poplar Bluff. We might have an abbreviated halftime show, Auto Spa Car Wash halftime show. See how many scores we can get you from around the area, but we won't have many highlights. Just one touchdown by the Knights, one by Poplar Bluff in this ball game. The St. Genevieve and Fredericktown game yet to start, as we've been joined by our listeners on J98 as well. 21 seconds remaining in this first half. Boy, they're going to go ahead and try something here as Cortez Ellis throws this down the field and completes it all the way down to the 37-yard line. Great pass by Cortez Ellis, and completed it out there to his favorite target, Kimbrell Miller, on a gain of 26 yards.
Well, this time Dowd does come out of the game, and it's not because he's hurt, but because Ellis is here to throw the deep ball.
14 seconds remaining in the first half. And a line of scrimmage, 37-yard line of Farmington. Poplar Bluff calls a timeout. Let's step aside with them for just 30 seconds. It's 7-6 Poplar Bluff leading with the football. And 14 seconds left in the first half. Tell you more in 30 seconds right here on KREI and J98.
Are you one of these kinds of dads? When the kids came along, did you promise yourself, I never want to look back and wish I'd spent less time at the office? Then you should get to know Shelter Insurance. We help people who plan their lives around their families by offering life insurance that protects soccer daughters, shortstops, violinists, good students, wives, and so much more. To find out more, visit our website, shelterinsurance.com. Seek shelter today.
For all your insurance needs, see Jim Ropke, your Shelter Insurance agent in St. Genevieve.
Another wide receiver in the game for Poplar Bluff. This is Austin Vass running the wide receiver spot on the right side. And they're going to fire it down the middle one more time. This one's complete to Colin Jones, the tight end, all the way down to the 18-yard line. And Cortez Ellis running the 1-minute drill just about as well as you can on a gain of 22 yards.
No timeouts for Poplar Bluff, so as soon as the chains get set, the clock starts again.
Boy, Ellis running this well, 6 seconds remaining, and he's going to be spiking the ball right here. So 5 ticks remaining, and basically, Luke, they've got either one shot at the end zone, or they could choose to kick this thing, but on a night that's a wet ball, this would be about a 37-yarder. Might be better to just chuck it into the end zone.
Well, I think so, Chad. And, you know, another risky is a turnover here. You know, a blocked field goal could actually still be returned for a touchdown. And right now, I think Poplar Bluff's best bet is throw it in the end zone. Ellis already showing got some great arm strength.
2 wide receivers to each side. B-Win, the running back off to the left side. And the toss is going to the end zone and over everybody. But one more down is left. The clock stops with 0.4 seconds remaining in the first half.
And the guy running the clock over here has got some fast fingers. He sure does. Boy,
that pass intended for that recent substitution, Austin Bass, into the game. And they are going to try to kick a field goal here, Luke, as Jones comes out. Colin Jones, he's the one that caught that long pass over the middle, and he's going to try to kick this field goal from 37 yards out with 0.4 seconds remaining in the first half. They brought the tee out, and now they threw the tee back out of the game, so maybe they changed their mind.
Well, they had a kicking, but they did, and then they ran them all off the field, and they're going to give one more clock. The play clock is winding down.
Cortez Ellis Snaps the ball. Looks to the right side, flush from the pocket. Now tucks it. Runs it to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Shoved out of bounds at the 8-yard line on the final play of the first half. A gain of 11 yards there by Cortez Ellis. But it won't be enough for the touchdown. 7-6. Defenses dominate in the first half of this ball game at Poplar Bluff. In fact, Poplar Bluff's only score coming on an interception for a touchdown, and the Farmington Knights with one drive that they could finish off but couldn't capitalize for the extra point. So the Knights will have a chance to take the lead right out of the gate here in the second half as they will receive the second half kickoff. Jones on the boot away for Poplar Bluff. And for the Knights, Anthony Greco back to receive, along with Brayton Bone. With the injury to Colson Coulter, Brayton Bone's been the return there. That's helped out on special teams. A little breeze from our left to our right, so that will aid the kicker, Colton Jones. Poplar Bluff breaks the huddle. Jones boots it away. It is a deep kick, bouncing at the 15-yard line, taken at the 10 by Greco. Greco to the 20, picks up a block, cuts outside. He's at the 30, 35, runs into some tacklers, and forces his way out to the 39-yard line. Nice return by Anthony Greco. Pretty good field position for the Knights. And one of the longest fields was the touchdown drive. They had actually a couple of short field routes that they were unable to capitalize on. Very surprising there. And, wow, Greco, we talked about him earlier. The game just muscling his way through. That last 5 yards, he had about 4 Poplar Bluff mules on his back as he reached across there. A nice job. Greco going to stay in the game at the running back spot. Justin Bain, the quarterback. He'll put 2 wide receivers to each side. It's a 1st and 10 for the Knights. They've got it at their own 39-yard line. Knights with 127 yards rushing in the first half. Greco with a huge run, just smashing through people. He got to the 50-yard line, went off tackle, broke a tackle with his shoulder pad, broke a tackle with his knee, and then just pummeled another man out to midfield. Great run by Greco, and not giving up there. Just a 10-yard run, but wow, taking on 3 guys, and that third one barely stopped him. Greco got suspended for a couple of games, but he seems to have come back with really renewed determination on the squad. Greco, the running back, stands to the right side of Bain. 2 wides to each side, the ball at midfield. And that was the first play of the third quarter as Farmington trails by a point, 7-6. Bain breaks the line of scrimmage, picks up a block, heads to the outside of the 40, cuts back to the 35, races a man to the 30. He's to the 25-20. Justin Bain forced out of the 10-yard line. A gain of 40 yards by Bain. The inside-out play. 2 rushes and huge yardage by the Knights. Boy, what a nice play there, Justin Bain. Just using the cutback, and he got to the outside quick, and Poplar finally able to run him out there. An even 100 yards now for Justin Bain. Back-to-back 100-yard rushing Knights for the quarterback for the Farmington Knights. It's 1st and 10 just outside of the 10-yard line. Greco, the running back, stands just to the right side of Bain. Bain back in the gun. 2 rushes and 50 yards by the Knights so far in this drive. A fake to Greco. Bain has it, and he is quickly spun down. T.J. Boner, a great middle linebacker, a senior, 6'1", 220. We remember him last year, Luke, when Poplar Bluff was only able to win a couple of games, but he was certainly a standout on the team. Yeah, and like the senior players, man, they love this type of game, and he's stepping up now. So 2nd and 10. Greco trying to get to the outside, cuts back. He's at the 5, slams forward, inside of the 4, reaching for the goal line, and stepped out of bounds just shy of the goal line. They mark him out of bounds at the 3. A gain of 7 by Greco. I didn't think he was going to get to the outside. But a great cutback by Greco that time. And a 3rd and 2. The Knights can get a first down without scoring if it works out that way. Bain, the quarterback. Back in the gun. Greco stands just to his left. 2 wides to each side. Bain keeps it. Pretty good blocking right in front of him. But Bain didn't follow that initial surge. Instead, he went to the left side with a line of collapse. And he was caught in the backfield. Yeah, that time it didn't work out for Justin. He's made a few plays like that happen
He just broke off, throwing off that big, huge 45-yard run, but that time it just wasn't there, and it collapsed on him.
It's a 4th and 3 for the Knights. They've got it just inside of the Poplar Bluff 5-yard line. The Knights have already missed an extra point in this game, so really kicking it. Not a great option as Zane going to roll to the right side, looking into the end zone, cutting back, fires to the end zone, incomplete.
Wow, big
interesting choice.
Well, that play just didn't really develop at all, and Justin got to the sideline, didn't have anywhere to go with it, basically just threw it out the back of the end zone, hoping somebody might be there. But wow, first 2 plays of this drive, very explosive, Chad. We thought Farmington had something clicking. They get stopped down there on the goal line on 4th down again. Huge. Hey, credit T.J. Boner, the senior linebacker from Poplar Bluff here, for making that big stop there, too, on this drive.
Good rotating quarterbacks for Poplar Bluff. Cortez Ellis back in the game now. Gets the snap from his own goal line. Just going to try to race everybody to the corner here and chopped out at the 10-yard line. Gain of 5 by Cortez Ellis. Ellis now with 35 yards rushing on 6 carries. Farmington has had drives thwarted inside of the red zone 3 times now, I believe.
Well, we thought they had problems with this in week 1 against Festus, and I really think that's what cost them that game, Chad. And I'd hate for that to be the case tonight. They're really going to have to buckle down and learn how to convert.
Cortez Ellis back in the gun once again and spins the pass over to the left side to Jordan Emmons. Emmons cuts back, needed 4, and picks up 6. That's a nice-looking pass. Unspooled that right on target.
And I play the Farmington likes to run their little triple wide receivers there, and just for that little quick screen there, Anthony Greco got caught up in a block, and the receiver was able to pick up the first down.
It was Jordan Emmons on the reception right there. This drive starting at the 5-yard line for Poplar Bluff. Cortez Ellis operating the offense, comes down under center this time, operating mostly from the gun, but comes down under center this time. And the man that he just threw the ball to, getting the carry now, Emmons, and Emmons is spun down to 20. Looked like he had a little bit more room out there, but it was Austin Herbst making sure that he didn't on a pickup of just a pair. 2nd and 8. 9.5 minutes to go, third quarter. And the score on the scoreboard, Luke, reads 9-7. Don't believe it.
I don't. A little deception there.
It's actually 7-6 Poplar Bluff leading it. So first, or rather, 2nd and 8 for Poplar Bluff.
I might protest this game like the Atlantic Braves. That's 6.
Yeah, more on that coming up. Cortez Ellis going to run the straight keeper, gains 3 yards, and out to the 25-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and 3.
I don't see any bottles on the field right now, so the fans aren't that upset about the scoreboard issue right now.
It was a strange ruling on an infield fly rule that was to the Cardinals' benefit, and as Luke mentioned, the Braves protested the game on that call. Ryder Garrett down. Really the heart of this Farmington defense.
Well, he sure is, and boy, I hope he's all right. As we talked about Anthony Greco coming back providing the spark, boy, it could be really deflating if Ryder Garrett, for any reason, can't return.
And this is a team already, Luke, that is really linebacker depleted. They've already lost a couple of linebackers, and then a free safety, Kobe Moon, also out with an injury. Colton Coulter, a guy that works in and out as a backer and defensive back, injured. And now Ryder Garrett is unable to come off the field on his own power either. He has to get help coming off this field. I asked Todd Vaughn, I said, what are you going to do if you lose another linebacker? And he said, we'll probably play with one linebacker and bring in an extra defensive back, which is very odd. But here comes the substitute, and that's Scott Roberts. Now, we have seen Scott Roberts play a little bit during games, and he is the sub as B. Wynn gets slammed down at the line of scrimmage. And, how about that effort? You're a linebacker, the leader of your defense comes out on the very next play, but a 3rd and 3, your defense gets tough and stops the runner right there. Great play by the Farmington D.
Well, it sure was, and waited for the teammates to pick up Ryder Garrett there. And, well, we sure hope he's okay. He's a senior on this team, and I would hate for it to be bad where he wouldn't be able to play the rest of the year. But, man, that didn't look really good. Not going to speculate, though.
All right, Darius Sales comes on to punt. Darius Sales had a 70-yard punt earlier in this game. Anthony Greco is hoping that he doesn't do it again. But Sales swings the right leg, and he slams this thing over Greco's head again. Greco retreats and grabs it all the way back at his own 16-yard line. He gets by one man, outraces another, and he's at the 30. I'll tell you what, Luke, Darius Sales is making a pitch as player of the game, and I'm not kidding in a low-scoring game like this.
He sure has, man. He had a great punt in that first half that just took the right bounce and went inside the inside the 10, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was right there, another great punt. And almost outkicked his coverage, but Greco able to get back a few of the yards.
Greco stays on the field as a running back. He's got 70 yards rushing. Dame has 100 yards rushing. Talking about two guys that are on track for 100-yard nights, and Knights still only have 6 points because they haven't been able to finish drives.
Well, we talked about that on the way down. Poplar Bluff was in a similar situation last year.
Yes, they were. We'll talk about that coming up. Dame back in the gun. Hands to Greco. Greco waits right in the middle of that defense, and he just runs into an absolute wall that time. The name of that wall is James Patterson, 6'3", 255. Oh, there was nowhere to go for Greco that time. He's eighth carrying. He is not able to gain a yard on that one. Well, when Farmington met with Poplar Bluff last year, it was Farmington 45-7 with the victory. But Farmington barely outgained Poplar Bluff, 377 to 342. Here's a swing pass to the right side, and it's a first down for the Knights. Just swing it to the right side, and Luke Melder's been an Evan Donovan sighting for the first time tonight.
Wow, really surprised to see him halfway through the third quarter here get his first reception. And maybe that's going to be a little bit of a spark, too, to get this Farmington offense geared in the right direction.
One reason the Mules fell by so many points last year, even though they were able to gain, turnovers, and they gave it back to Farmington on downs, which is what we're seeing tonight out of the Knights. Luke referenced the game last year. A flag before the play develops, and it looks like the Knights jumped early. Well, scooted back 5 yards, and it'll be a first and 15.
We got to remember that not only did Farmington lose a linebacker, they lost their offensive tackle when they lost Ryder Garrett, too.
So, right. So first and 15 for the Knights. And you're exactly right, as Ryder Garrett's indeed was a tackle. Here's a jet sweep to Evan Donovan. He cuts back and leans forward into it. I thought he had more space than that, but he only gained 3 yards. That was well defensed and strung out.
Boy, that was, and he turned it upfield, and I thought he was going to break it for a big play, but Drew Dowd met him right there in the hole and secured the tackle.
Andre Turner playing the line now for Ryder Garrett as he subs in on the offensive side. 2nd and 12 for the Knights. Greco and Dame in the backfield. Dame the quarterback, of course. Greco the running back. They fake it to Greco. Dame trying to the right side. He's trying to get the corner, but he has mules everywhere. A gain of just 3 for Dame. He was just swarmed.
James Harrison, the big D tackle, chasing him down, and boy, just kept him on his heels just enough that he got a little help from the backside defender there. Nothing there for Baines.
Well, Farmington needed a few yards to pick up last time, and they were able to complete a pass to Evan Donovan for 12 yards. Trips to the left side here, and Donovan out on the island on the right side with only one wide receiver there. Greco the single set back. Baines back in the gun on a 3rd and 10. Baines looks to the left side. Now back to the right. There's a receiver trying to come back and meet him, and he tosses it out of bounds on the right side, forcing Farmington into a punting situation. The Knights still trail 7-6. Farmington made it all the way down to the 5-yard line of Poplar Bluff, but was unable to punch it in here in this third quarter.
Well, the defense picked him up on that turnover on downs and got the ball back. Farmington, after a first down there, one first down, they just stalled out there after the penalty.
Poplar Bluff going to rush 10 men here on Basalt, the punter. Good snap, though, and Austin gets it off cleanly. Emmons, the return man, as this punt turns over, has some trouble with it. Left end covered it up. Boy, he muffed that thing, but Farmington's coverage wasn't quite down there in time to cover it up. I thought he was looking like he was going to be a little shy on catching that thing. Let's thank Farmington Farmers Market, Wolfer Chiropractic in Farmington, Emo's Pizza, Hastings Unlimited, and Coles Tractors, Sales and Equipment in Farmington. Well, Cortez Ellis has moved this team as well, and, for Poplar Bluff, they've been able to move the ball a little bit and haven't finished a few drives, as now the skies open back up again and the rain coming down once again. The only score by Poplar Bluff, an interception return for a touchdown, and they were able to notch the extra point, which is the difference in this ball game. Pass incomplete as Ellis tried to complete it out there to Emmons on the left side.
Just a little bit behind the receiver Emmons there, and he looked like he had some space to run, too. Ball live in a little place. It's raining about as hard as it has rained all night now.
Yeah, it is coming down heavily now. And good news, Luke. Ryder Garrett's back in the game.
Wow. Well, hey.
Well, the rain really coming down now, and now this Cortez Ellis quarterback going to run that quarterback draw. He cuts back. He's got a first down and more. Crosses the 40 to the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 15 yards by Cortez Ellis.
Well, real nice play there. And boy, Ryder Garrett gets back here for one play and gets tested on that leg that would look bad. And made a few cuts there. It looks like he's going to be all right. Thank goodness.
And the skies continue to open up wider and wider as the rain becomes heavier and heavier. Cortez Ellis with 8 carries tonight. He's got 53 yards rushing. Ellis back in the gun. 2 wide to the left, 1 to the right side. And now pulls it and runs it. He's out to the 50 and stretching forward to the 48-yard line. And a tackle by Farmington made by Trent Hughes. But another good gain by Cortez Ellis on a rush of 7 yards. 9 carries and 60 yards for Ellis.
Ellis has looked really impressive on this drive so far, especially running the ball. Kind of Justin Bain-ish.
Exactly. And he's getting some good holes to run through, too. This Mule's front 5, 210, 195, 275, 235, 245. So they do outweigh that defensive front for Farmington. And Ellis running a straight QB keeper straight up the middle this time. Needed 4 yards, and I think he's right at first down territory. Looks like they're going to move the sticks again.
Well, that time Elijah McBride kind of did a nice job of turning them back inside. Only problem was none of the other Knights were there to get him. And tell you what, Ellis picked up the first down again, moving the chain.
This clock continues to melt. Our game going pretty quickly tonight. 3:54 now remaining in the third quarter. 7-6, the difference, the extra point. The Mules were able to kick through after their interception return for a touchdown, and Farmington was not able to convert. Cortez Ellis, the quarterback, hands it off to Wynn. Wynn trying to get to the left sideline, and Greco does a nice job coming over and spins him down. Wynn was really never able to get all the way over to that left sideline, as Greco with a good angle tackle. There is a flag on the play. Gain of just a pair, but it's a holding call against Poplar Bluff.
I think they're going to get that on 62. That's
Trent Wellborn.
Trent Wellborn, yeah. I think he had Zach Grief tied up there on that end.
That was Zach.
Yeah, I was able to. That's why B. Wynn was able to spring out and be gone. But
Grief 6'3", 245, moves well, and I mean, he comes at you with rocks in his pockets, too. He's a heavy load.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the rain just got heavier just in the last 30 seconds. 3:35 left to play in our third quarter. 7-6 Poplar Bluff leads. They've got a 1st and 20 right here. And the quarterback runs the keeper once again. Cortez Ellis with room to run. And they just saved the touchdown. Jaron Dunlap chopped him down. Ellis bolting through a gaping hole and gained 17 and the 20 yards back.
Boy, he was just gaining speed, and I thought, another 3 steps and he was gone. But Jared Dunlap, touchdown saving tackle, like you said, Chad. Wow.
Brings up a 2nd and 3. The Farmington running game looks more impressive than Poplar Bluff, but right now Poplar Bluff blowing holes in the defensive front of Farmington, and mostly it's just Cortez Ellis, the quarterback, just keeping it and going with it. This time it's a broken play, and he's trying to make something out of it, and he gains a yard. So it brings up a 3rd and 2.
Well, it's going to be out.
Well, boy, they gave him a super spot, didn't they? They gave him a 3-yard gain right there.
Yeah, he snapped the ball, turned like he was going to take it to the running back who wasn't even there, and able to make something out of nothing there.
We're going to measure this thing. Well, he needed 3. I thought he gained a yard, and they put that almost all the way down to the Farmington 35-yard line. The defense looking like it's getting a little bit tired for the Knights. They'll come over and mark it off. Farmington has won the 6 out of the last 7 games in this series. Poplar Bluff's last win in the series in 2009, 34-31. My goodness, they gave him a first down on that. Most promising drive that we've seen from Poplar Bluff since the last drive of the first half when they got down inside of the 10. They got the ball with just 20 seconds remaining in that one and took it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Boy, and Ellis did that with his arm, and this time he's been doing it with his legs.
He has. Cortez Ellis, just a one-man gang right now. Now, he's getting help from that offensive front. Those big linemen are paving the way for him, but he's just getting those direct snaps and going with them. And this time he's going to throw a pass off to the left side. Pass is complete. And he completed it out there to Tristan Francisco on a gain of 8. Francisco's first catch of the night. And his 3rd catch of the season. I didn't anticipate that. That kind of came out of nowhere, that pass.
Sure did.
Well done, though. And Ellis is a good bet to run this one for another first down as he turns it inside. It stretches it across the 25-yard line. Needed a couple, and he picked up 4, moved the sticks again for Poplar Bluff. And Cortez Ellis nearing a 100-yard night. He's got 13 carries and 88 yards now on the night. 1:57 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 7-6, Poplar Bluff leads. Didn't really know what kind of a game this would be tonight. It's been a defensive struggle. Poplar Bluff looking for its first offensive point. Their only score has been off a Kimbrell Miller 17-yard interception return for a touchdown. And Cortez Ellis keeps it again. He's to the 20, cuts back to the 15. And it rips off another 9-yard gain.
Boy, Ellis is doing a fantastic job out there, but you got to give his offensive lineman there. That's number 62, Logan Minzer, man.
Wellborn, the guy that held earlier.
Well, and yeah, they have just been sealing off that end for him. And he had all kinds of lanes out there.
Yeah, the Mitchell twins on that line. Wellborn, Vet, Green, all doing a fine job right now. And it's just Ellis, the quarterback, just running those keepers and shredding this Farmington defense. It's Ellis again. Gets down to the 13-yard line. A gain of 3, and that puts him at exactly 100 yards for the night. So Cortez Ellis, who was benched as the starting quarterback, Drew Dowd started in place of him, but this offense has been more impressive with Ellis under center or behind the center. And another first down for Poplar Bluff. Did they start this at the... Where did they start this?
The 30-yard line.
The 30, okay. Okay, it was the last possession. They started at the 5, I guess, wasn't it? 52 seconds and counting down. And, well, Cortez Ellis has been getting the snap and running the ball. This time he fires it out to the left side. And this one's getting out of the hands of his wide receiver, Kimbrell Miller. Well, with the rain coming down so hard, that's a tougher play. And he's had so much success just grabbing it and going. 43 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 7-6, Poplar Bluff by a point with the football. 2nd and 10. And they've got it at the Farmington 12. Taylor Coleman runs the play in. Nice defense challenged here. Twins to each side. D. Wynn, the lone running back, But Cortez Ellis, the running back at the quarterback position, he's met at the 12, tries to shove forward, but the defense stands strong this time, and Trent Hughes brings him down. Some help from Jacob Henson right there. And finally, a gain of just a yard brings up a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 9 for Poplar Bluff. You would think this would be Fort-Town territory with weather like this.
Well, yeah, I would not think they would want to risk kicking a field goal. And Farmington with a big opportunity here, 3rd and long.
That might have been the last play of the third quarter, too. And they'll just walk off the field and say, we'll plan this one out during the break in the quarter. 7-6, Poplar Bluff by a point over Farmington. 3rd and 9 for the Mules at the Farmington 10-yard line. We'll tell you about it in a minute on KREI, Farmington Park Hill. Poplar Bluff leads by a point here at Dillon Moore Field. 7-6 is the score. Poplar Bluff driving it. They've got a 3rd and 9 at the Farmington 10-yard line. Luke Bell, it's been the Cortez Ellis show. The quarterback has just been getting it on the direct snap from the shotgun and just running it straight at this Farmington defense. Now the officials have called the Farmington team to come off of the field. The Poplar Bluff offense is just now coming onto the field, but lightning in the area, and there will now be a delay in our game. Let's step aside, take a break in this one. We'll rejoin you in Poplar Bluff right after this. And we are getting set to get back underway. Kimbrough Miller going to be the wide receiver to the left side. The wide on the right side, Taylor Coleman. And it'll be Cortez Ellis, the quarterback, that really has been a running back in that shotgun. He's just take it and go with it. D. Wynn going to be his running back off to the left side. And Farmington runs a player on the field very late in this alignment.
Well, they haven't officially restarted the game clock, so I think they're still waiting to get that lined out. So while it looked like the kid was late, I think he had some time.
In the slot to the left side is Jordan Emmons. So Cortez Ellis going to bark it out. 3rd and 9 for Poplar Bluff at the Farmington 11-yard line. Ellis back in that gun. Looks for a pass to the left side. Looks to the end zone. Wide open. Kimbrough Miller, and he overshot him. Miller on the slant route. Wide open in the end zone. And Ellis just threw it right over the top of him.
They couldn't believe it. You talked about it. They went into that locker room for 40 minutes before they had it playing perfect. Nice little double move by Miller there, and he was wide open.
Farmington was fooled on the play.
Well, that was your best play coming out. What does Poplar Bluff have now? And does that kind of open the eyes of Farmington a little?
And now 4th down. 4th and 9, Luke. 4th and 9 for the Farmington 11-yard line. Cortez Ellis back in that shotgun once again and looks to the left side to pass it once again. Fires to the end zone of the pass. Well, it was a little bit too tall that time, but the coverage much better for the Knights. Trey Emson out there on the coverage. As if that might have been a huge sequence in the game as we return to action. A 1-point lead for Poplar Bluff, 7-6. Start of the 4th quarter, 40-minute delay. Poplar Bluff at the Farmington 11-yard line, and the Knights defense gets the stop.
Absolutely, Chad, and this has to be a huge momentum swing for Farmington. You know, Poplar Bluff running this ball so well with the quarterback there. Went to the air twice and turned it over on down.
All right, so the Knights have the football back. They've got it deep in their own end at their own 11-yard line. Justin Bain brings the troops back down as Bain tries to wade right through the middle of this defense. He is thrown straight down. T.J. Boner right there, and Daniel Francisco meet him right in the middle and slam him down for a 1-yard loss.
Boy, and first play for Farmington, nothing to it. Poplar Bluff.
Well, apparently the defense has benefited from that break, and the defenses have been great anyway. 2nd and 11. Bain back in the gun, drops back, whips to pass, now breaks the pocket, and he is nearly sacked and now throws a backward pass and is picked up after 2 hops by Evan Donovan. So this will be a rush by Donovan for a -1 yard.
Boy, I tell you what, you're the Farmington coach, you see that play, out back to your own goal line. Wow, you clinch up a little bit on that one, and luckily, that could have been catastrophic. A 3rd and 12 for the Knights now. Well, that takes
one hop a little bit different order than the other. That could have been 6 points by Poplar Bluff. Bain back to pass. He's in his own end zone. Rolls the pocket to the left side. Gets a good block. Fires it out the deep ball. And that's over the head of his intended receiver, Cam Quarter. So the Knights go 3 out. A big defensive stop by the Knights, but the offense, once again, can't do anything. In fact, the offense loses 2 yards on that drive.
They sure did. And the first 2 plays, not very well at all. It's kind of, that second play could have been a lot worse. That one, he was a little high on the main quarter. Just a little bit high on that pass.
The punters have both been exceptional tonight. And Austin Dussault going to punt out of his own end zone. So the key is to get a good snap right here and make sure that he can get this punt off cleanly. 10 men rushing Dussault, but the coverage stands up. Dussault's punt isn't very long, but it does hop at the 35 and then roll all the way out to midfield and just slightly into Poplar Bluff territory. So Dussault does his job certainly right there. And now it's the Poplar Bluff offense back out on the field. 10:20 remaining in our fourth quarter. Fourth quarter just getting underway after a 40-minute rain delay. The Farmington defense turns away Poplar Bluff in the red zone. But then the Farmington offense loses 2 yards, and Poplar Bluff has the ball right back.
Well, let's see if Poplar Bluff doesn't go back to Cortez Ellis and have the running game that we worked so well there before rain delay.
Cortez Ellis just basically taking the ball and running either straight ahead or to the corners worked to the best for this Poplar Bluff team. And Ellis has it once again. That's exactly what he does, and he is slammed to the ground at the line of scrimmage. So the Farmington defense, you know, Luke, that during that delay, they were in their game planning for Cortez Ellis to take those straight runs and just try to gain some yards. And a new linebacker right there, Elijah McBride, makes a great hit from the outside.
Well, Elijah McBride did a nice job of there. Follow him down the line of scrimmage, but Jared Dunlap, the free safety, is the one who came up and helped with a little run protection there.
No gain on the play. So Cortez Ellis, the main threat in that third quarter for the Poplar Bluff offense, and Ellis flips it out to the left side here. It's in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Emmons. Emmons had a little space out there, Luke.
Yeah, he did. A little swing route, a little swinging screen. Not really a screen, but kind of swinging out there.
And a flat route.
Wasn't really anybody there around him. Couldn't hang on to it, though.
The Poplar Bluff passing game looks a little bit like Farmington's passing game did in the first half. You know, some openings, some chances, just not connecting. And it brings up a 3rd and 10. Taylor Coleman runs in the play. Ball right at midfield. Farmington offense trying to win this battle of field position and then get a big drive going. They trailed by a point, 7-6. The difference in this game, well, successful extra point for Poplar Bluff, a failed attempt for Farmington. And once again, it's Cortez Ellis just trying to make his own way, and he's hit in the backfield and slammed to the ground by Anthony Greco.
Definitely some adjustments made in the locker room there. Farmington benefited from that break, like you said there, Chad. And, wow, just came up, and I like that again. I like what they've done there.
Coach Vaughn, Coach McKinney, co-defensive coordinators, and they came up with something during that delay, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's a guy that we've seen that I think he's maybe been the best guy at his position tonight, Darius Sales, the punter for Poplar Bluff. He has kicked some huge punts in this one. And this punt hits a Farmington player, and Poplar Bluff has it right back. It hit Trey Amson. Amson was trying to defend that gunner coming down from the left side and never saw the punt coming toward him. It hit him in the backside, and Poplar Bluff jumped right back on top. And once again, positive things happen when Darius Sales is punting.
Well, and he actually kind of a missed snap there. That's why the punt didn't get on as cleanly as his other ones had. But
it's kind of fluky. But
if you're Anthony Greco, the return man there, you got to let your guys know, hey, if that ball is a short or kind of a fouled punt there, not a good punt, you got to let them know to get away because they're trying to block.
So the drive continues for Poplar Bluff. And there's the quarterback once again, Cortez Ellis. And although he does gain some positive yards on this play, it's certainly harder yardage than he had in the third quarter. A gain of 3 for Ellis on that one. Cortez Ellis with 19 carries in this game. And I don't see any way that they're going to go away from him here.
Ellis Farmington had him stopped there, and just a unfortunate turn of events on special teams there.
That'll be a 2nd and 7 for Poplar Bluff. They've got it just inside of the Farmington 25-yard line. Cortez Ellis running the keeper again, and this time he rips off 5 yards. Ellis goes slow to get up this time. But he'll come back to the huddle. 20 carries for Cortez Ellis and 108 yards. But he's still looking for the first offensive touchdown of the game for the Mules. Poplar Bluff leads 7-6 with 7:43 remaining in regulation. There are going to be that many possessions left in this game.
Keep an eye here, Chad. Dowd, the backup quarterback, is actually playing receiver now.
Here comes Ellis. He's got a first down to the 15. He is hit and dragged down hard. That was Ryder Garrett that knocked him down, but another 5-yard gain for Ellis and moved the sticks again for Poplar Bluff.
Moving the sticks and keeping the clock running now.
7:32 remaining in this fourth quarter. 7-6. Mules lead it by a point. And they drive once again into the red zone. First and 10 at the Farmington 15. We just saw this last possession. Cortez Ellis, the quarterback. Hands it off to his running back this time. One of the best runs we've seen by B. Wynn tonight. Still not a long run, but a 7-yard gain is his best.
Well, it is, and he's pretty quick there. If he can get to that outside, that's kind of like the first play of the game. We saw him, got a dose of him. He's quick. Farmington's been able to pretty much keep him contained, though. A few times he has carried the bar.
Just 3 carries for him. That was his largest. The 1U efforts. First one of the game, he ran for 5. And a 2nd and 3. B. Wynn, the running back. And as you mentioned, the other quarterback, Drew Dowd, in the slot to the left side. And they throw it to Dowd. He's at the 10, he's at the 5, and then driven down the 4-yard line, a first down. And a first and goal now for Poplar Bluff on the gain of 6. One quarterback to the other.
Well, you can't help but feel Farmington got a little deflated on that special teams turnover there. After coming out with arguably their best defensive stand of the half, to give it right back to them down there deep in your own territories.
You know, the common parlance for it is a special teams gaff, but it was really a tough play for Anderson because he's actually covering, the gunner there, and he's the guy that's going to try to stay with him and keep him off his punt returner. And the punt was short and then hit him behind, and it was really a tough play for him. They're going to measure now, and as they stretch the sticks, they're about an inch short. Well, just like one chain link.
Chain link. A while ago it was 3 inches. Now it's chain link.
You have to find different ways to describe things. Yeah. It was 5 inches, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I was lost. I called it chain link.
7 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the fourth frame. 7-6, Poplar Bluff by a point. And it's a third and just a few inches here. Cortez Ellis, the quarterback. Good bet that he'll just stick it in his hand and try to run it forward for the first down. That's the majority of the offense for this Poplar Bluff team. Ellis back in the gun, and he does keep it. He's driven down, but he gets inside of the 5-yard line, so it's a gain of 2 yards, and now it is a first and goal from the 4-yard line for Poplar Bluff.
Well, without a doubt, the next 2 plays are going to be the biggest performance of the night. You want to keep this game a 1-score game with them here in the fourth quarter.
First and goal at the 4-yard line for Poplar Bluff. Cortez Ellis with 22 carries in this game and 115 yards. He wasn't even the starting quarterback. Drew Dowd started. And Cortez Ellis came on in relief. And he's been able to move the offense a little bit better and trying to give them their first offensive touchdown of the game right here. He completes it, and now it's fumbled. And Farmington get it back. A completed pass to Drew Dowd and fumbled. And Farmington has it back. Ellis completed it over the left flat to Drew Dowd. Drew Dowd hit, fumbled it, and a nice football back at the 10-yard line.
Nice job there by Anthony Greco. Big heads-up play. And wow, a little bit risky play there for Poplar Bluff. so much success here once again, Chad, running the ball with our quarterback, Ellis. They go to the air, and, boy, he comes back to bite them there.
So many huge plays in a game that we've only seen 2 scores in. That punting play that gave the football back to Poplar Bluff to extend their drive, and now the turnover on the completed pass and the fumble. At Farmington, this could be their last shot. 6:45 left to play in the fourth quarter. And a handoff now to Greco. Greco rolling, slamming people down, crossing the 25 and the 30 and the 34-yard line. Anthony Greco ripping off yards in huge chunks right there in a gain of 25 yards.
Chad, man, you talked about this kind of at halftime, actually, right there at the delay. We're like, what can Farmington do to get successful? We said, let's hand the ball to Anthony Greco. Right there, you see what kind of a player he is.
Boy, he just ran through people that time, just trucked some folks. Greco with a huge run right there. Bain fakes it to Greco this time. Has a little seam, not much room to run, though. Gain of just a couple for Bain. 6:20 and counting down in this fourth quarter. This could be it for the night.
It sure is. And you know what I like? You got the combination of Bain and Greco there. Every time you kind of take your eye off one of them, the other guy's going to rip off a huge game.
A huge game by Greco. Just a few plays to go, and now a 2nd and 8 for the Knights. They've got it at their own 32-yard line, and the clock continues to tick at 6 minutes remaining in the fourth frame. Thanks for joining us tonight on KREI. A little lightning delay earlier, but we're back at it in the fourth quarter. Straight quarterback keeper over the right side. Bain crosses the 30-yard line, and then taken out rudely right there. But he does gain 4 yards and brings up a 3rd and 4.
Well, 3rd and 4, that's a very good down for Farmington. I like the chances on this. Earlier in the game, we've seen the 3rd and 10s, the 3rd and 12s. I like 3rd and 4.
Even on your own side of the field right now, the coaches could actually be thinking 4-down territory at this point in the game. You might not get the football back.
Well, Poplar Bluff had some good drives when they've had the ball and chewed up a lot of clock. I think you're right there, Chad.
3rd and 4, Greco stands just to the left side of Bain. Motion man Dunlap from the left to the right side. And Bain hands it off to Greco. Greco stumbled as he crossed the line of scrimmage. Oh, mercy. I don't even think he was tackled. I think he just kind of stumbled forward and gained only a yard, so it'll be a 4th and 3 for the Knights, so we'll get the answer right here.
Yeah, and they're not going anywhere. They're going to go for it here on 4th down, and Greco just slipped a little bit. Field's probably a little wet. Slick out there. Just fell a little short of that down.
Well, here's our first play of the game. The 4th and 3 for the Knights. They're going to look over to the far sideline, make sure they have the right play. Greco, the running back. And now the Knight coach is going to call a timeout. Say this is too important to mess around with. So 5:08 remaining in the fourth quarter. 7-6 the score. Poplar Bluff leads. 4th and 3 for the Knights. They've got it at their own 42-yard line.
Well, you got to put the ball in Justin Bain's hands. I don't think you want him to throw it right now. You said 4th and 2, a long 2. Yeah, and he showed that he could make some plays there on 4th down. They called last 4th down. Remember that down there in their own goal line, ran the pass, swung them out there. Wasn't anything there. Had to throw it out the back of the end zone. I think this time, keep it on the ground and put it in Bain's hands.
I agree. I think that passing it is the last thing you want to do. I think Bain's a good choice, but I think Greco's run the ball pretty tough. So I think they put 2 pretty good options.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with either one of them.
At this point, you got to get a few blocks.
Yeah,
that's how you got to get the good surges along your line. All right, here's the first play of the game. It comes at the 5:08 mark of the fourth quarter. 4th and a long 2, almost 3 for these Farmington Knights. They've got it at their own 42-yard line, and Farmington trails by a point, 7-6. That 4-man front of Poplar Bluff going their next. They're going to be coming hard. The Knights take a look at the alignment. Here's the snap, and Bain is back to throw. They want to set up the screen pass, and it's incomplete. And Luke, I've got to agree with you. I really have to agree with you. I think throwing the football there was the last thing that I think they wanted to do, but that's what they chose.
That screen play worked out really good for them one time back against Jackson about 3 or 4 weeks ago. They got a huge conversion with that screen pass. And I've seen them try running a few times since then, and it was so hard to set up.
It was open. It's just that passes have been hard to complete tonight.
Well, when you get the kind of pressure that you have the big boys from Poplar Bluff, Thames just pretty much spurting backwards. We have to try and make an accurate throw, and it just didn't happen there.
So Poplar Bluff gets the football back, and well, they'd like to score, but they'd like to milk 5 minutes off of this clock right here. And Cortez Ellis has been the man that they've gone to. Now he is hit at the line, and he fumbles the football. The Farmington Knights have forced 2 fumbles on consecutive plays for Poplar Bluff, but this time the Mules recover it. Whew. Wow. A gain of 2 by Ellis. With a nice thought for a moment that they had it back. All right. 4:30 and counting down, and you know that Cortez Ellis is going to be using the entire play clock here. Poplar Bluff comes back to the line. 2nd and 8. Ellis, the quarterback, steps back to throw. It's an out and up route, and it's wide open. And it is incomplete. Greco initially beat on the play loop, recovered, caught up, and then tomahawked the ball right out of the receiver Drew Dowd's hands at the final moment.
Boy, it looked like Drew Dowd was, if Ellis just put a little bit more on it, he would have had a touchdown there. Greco, nice play, nice recovery, like you said. I think Janoris Jenkins make a play like that for the Rams last night, and Greco taking a little page out of his book.
You know, I mean, it's kind of a smart call in terms of it's not what you expect, but the incompletion stops the clock for Farmington. 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in regulation. 7-6. Poplar Bluff leads. And they got a 3rd and 8 here, and the quarterback Ellis runs a keeper on the drop play, and he is pounded down at the line of scrimmage. And that was Austin Herbst, the first man there. And now a timeout by the Knights.
Boy, as good as Poplar Bluff's punter's been, I think you got a punter here, Chad.
I think you do too.
I know you're in Farmington territory, but why you don't want to take a chance of giving them that good a field position, do you?
I think you do want. You're saying that you think you do want a punter. Right? I do too. The Knights have taken a timeout to stop the clock at the 3:51 mark in the 4th quarter, and the punter has been terrific tonight for Poplar Bluff. His best has been the distance that he's been able to punt it, but he's even been a little fortunate. One of his bad punts went off Trey Emsden and extended the drive for Poplar Bluff. But if he can angle this one or have it come to rest and give Farmington that long field to drive, then it'll make it tough on the Knights.
Well, you know, here's what's so funny is we saw Farmington get a few possessions in Poplar Bluff territory, and we thought, all right, this sets up perfect for them. They couldn't capitalize on it. Yeah, some of their longest drives have been their most efficient drives. So, who knows?
So for the Knights, they're trying to put on a punt return for Greco or a punt block attempt right here. They've not really been able to get a whole lot of pressure on the punter. The punt team for Poplar Bluff has been pretty good. There is Sales. Snaps have been right there to him as well. Greco will line up inside of his own 10-yard line, and Farmington have 10 men at the line of scrimmage. Sales 12 yards off the ball, awaiting this snap for the punt. Snaps right to him, puts his right foot into it, kicks it off to the right side, hoping for a hop, and he gets one, and he knocks it inside of the 20-yard line, so he does exactly what his team wanted him to do. As Farmington has the long field loop, 3 minutes and 51 seconds. And Farmington needs to come down the field to score this one. They did it against Cape Central last week, but that's when the offenses were really cruising. They'll have to do it this week when the offenses have really had trouble on both sides.
One thing I noticed there, Anthony Greco, the return man, waving his arms like crazy, telling his teammates to get away from it. Did not want to repeat what happened last night.
What a smart thing to do. First play of the last drive, Greco had a terrific run of 25 yards to start that drive, but then it stalled out. They'll go with him again right here. And he breaks 2 tackles, but there are just too many men coming at him, and he gains 3 yards.
3 yards there. 3 yards would have been good for a first down. Sure was. Yeah, 4th and 2, but
2nd and 7 upcoming. 3:30 and counting down in this 4th quarter. Farmington trails by a point. Essentially to the difference, a made extra point by Poplar Bluff and a missed extra point by the Farmington Knights. The only touchdown for Poplar Bluff coming as a result of an interception return for the touchdown. Farmington defense has been tough all night. Fame wants to pass it. Looks over the middle. Has Greco. Get it out of his hands. Threw it just a little bit beside him. And Greco reached back for it. If that thing hit him on the numbers, Luke would have had a foot race because he was wide open in the middle of the field.
Oh, he had some room to run. Just a little bit behind him. There, Fame with the pass.
Fame threw for 266 yards last week. Only 38 yards tonight. He's 6 for 15. And a 3rd and 7 upcoming. Well, the route was sure open right there, wasn't it? Name the quarterback. You got Greco beside him. Justin back to pass again under heavy pressure. And throws it in and out of the hands of his wide receiver this time. That time, Bain threw a pretty good ball, and Dunlap couldn't come up with it.
All right.
And now here's our second play of the game. 3 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in the fourth, and Farmington once again looking at a fourth down, but this time it's within their own 21-yard line.
Trailing by 1 point here, 7-6. Late in the fourth quarter. Big fourth down for Farmington.
And now they've pretty much put themselves in a situation where you do really have to throw it. Bain back in the gun. Going to roll the pocket to the right side. Lobs it over the defender, and Ivan Donovan just flat dropped it. Bain hit him right in the hands, Luke. Bain hit him right in the hands, 17 yards down the field. And Donovan just dropped it.
All right, he kind of he saw the footsteps coming, and he knows it. And it's been too many of those tonight. There has been a little bit too many of those, and that was a good pass. Farmington, just under 3 minutes. 1 timeout. Boy, this is going to be tough.
2:57 remaining in regulation. 7-6. Poplar Bluff by a point. Their only score is 17-yard interception return for a touchdown by Kimbrell Miller. Poplar Bluff puts the ball in the hands of their quarterback, and Cortez Ellis rushes to the left side, gains 2 yards, and he's rolled down by Jacob Henson. Ellis has a 100-yard night, 24 carries for him, and 119 yards rushing. Farmington nearly has 200-yard rushers. I've got Greco unofficially with 99 yards. I've got 108 for Bain. And the clock continues to roll the 2:20 mark of the fourth quarter. 2nd and 8 upcoming for Poplar Bluff. Offense just never fully clicked tonight. And with the play clock running down to 0, Poplar Bluff whistles for a timeout. 2:13 remaining in the fourth. 7-6 Poplar Bluff leading. And they've got the football at the Farmington 20-yard line on a 2nd and 8. We're back after this 30-second timeout on Super Talk 800 KREI Farmington.
Midwest Orthopedics Group with Dr. Scott Van Ness and Dr. Christopher Sloan are orthopedic surgeons and podiatrists who offer total joint replacements, arthroscopic surgery, carpal tunnel, fracture care, workman's compensation cases, foot care, and surgery. And new patients are welcome. All surgery and care done locally in Farmington. That's Midwest Orthopedics Group, just down from Buffalo Wild Wings in the Midwest Professional Building in Farmington. Midwest Orthopedics Group.
Quite a few missed opportunities for the Farmington Knights in this one. 7-6. Poplar Bluff leads by a point. The Mules have the football at the Farmington 20-yard line. 2nd and 8. 2 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in regulation. And Drew Dowd comes back at the quarterback spot. Anthony Greco hauls him down. What an interesting time to change quarterbacks. A gain of 3 by Drew Dowd right there.
Well, now Ellis is back in the huddle.
Ellis was on the field that last play. But it was Dowd that lined up as the quarterback and ran it, and now it's a 3rd and 6. 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in regulation. Ellis once again running the quarterback spot. You got to keep this on the ground if you're Poplar Bluff. And Ellis, if he picks up a first down right here, the game's over. And he pushes it down near the 10-yard line. I think he's going to be just shy of the first down, and he is. Needed 60. He picked up 5, so fourth down upcoming, which makes it our third big play of the game coming up.
Well, yeah, we keep talking about big plays. Farmington's going to take their final time out here. It's going to be fourth and about a long 2, short 3, Chad. Minute 26.
If you're Farmington, you just got to bring the house here. This would really not be, Luke, a bad spot for Poplar Bluff to throw the ball, because you're either hooking up or you're turning it over anyway, and the clock's going to stop on the change of possession. And if I'm Farmington, I'm bringing everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you totally there, Chad. And you got to anticipate that there's probably going to be some extra blitzers out there to try to get a little bit more pressure, stop that run at the line of scrimmage. Boy, we see it coming out of that delay. They ran the perfect route, the little double move. Ellis just missed his man wide open in the end zone. Would not be surprised to see a similar play right now.
But Farmington had some opportunities in their last drive. Greco wide open in midfield, and Dame threw the ball just a little bit behind him, and then Dame threw a great looking ball to Donovan on fourth down, and he drops it. Now it's going to be Drew Dowd as the quarterback once again for Poplar Bluff, just interchanging these quarterbacks. Drew Dowd's going to have it.
And Dowd hasn't thrown a pass all year like we said that earlier.
4th and 2 for Drew Dowd. It must feel like he's a better running quarterback, going to put Wynn in motion. And Dowd gets the snap, rushes to the right side, needs 2 yards to extend the drive. He's caught in the backfield, breaks 3 tackles, and he's going to run right up the middle for a touchdown. Poplar Bluff scores the touchdown with 1 minute and 17 seconds remaining in regulation. Drew Dowd takes it in from 15 yards out and scores it. Now, Luke, you can look at this one of 2 ways. The best thing that could happen for Farmington was that they stop him on 4th down. But it would have been way better for Poplar Bluff to get a first down and not score a touchdown right there.
That is a very good way. That's the old Mike Holmgren trick. Let him score.
That
wasn't the intention there.
No, it wasn't the intention. But if Poplar Bluff, if Poplar Bluff, if he kneels at the 5, Farmington basically can't win this game unless Joe Pacharczyk comes out here for the Eagles. But by scoring, Poplar Bluff is going to give Farmington the football back. And unless Poplar Bluff goes for 2 here, Farmington can still come back and tie this game.
Poplar Bluff called a timeout, and that's probably what they're talking about right now. Do you risk going for 2? It looks like.
Well, the kicker's on the field. That's Colin Jones, but he's also their tight end. And they're going to line up to kick it. So unless they've got a fake coming out of this thing, Farmington's going to have a chance to tie this thing up.
With almost how much time there?
Because how much time they had. They had a minute 10 last week. They had a minute 10 last week. And a flag on the play. Offside for Farmington, and maybe now you think about going for it. Now you don't have to gain 3 yards. It's a yard and a half.
We go back to the 4th down play by Dowd there. He runs right. Zach Grief usually that plays that left end. But they had him wrapped up. They stopped him.
Oh, he broke 3 tackles.
Turned back, ran almost all the way across the formation again, and threw and wide open.
So here's the extra point, and the kick attempt is up, and it is through. So Farmington will have a chance at least to tie as they trail by 8. 1:17 remaining in the 4th quarter. So back to their kickoff in 30 seconds right here on Super Talk 800 KREI.
Gifford Lumber Company in Farmington.
Hi, this is Andy Eck with Gifford Lumber Company in Farmington. Did you know at Gifford Lumber we've got more than just wood? We've got tools, trash bags, cleaning supplies, and furnace filters. And did you know at Gifford Lumber we sell trash cans, wheelbarrows, plumbing supplies, and we even repair window and door screens? And did you know we sharpen mower blades, saw blades, and knives? We've got more than just wood at Gifford Lumber. Stop by and see us on Potosi Street in Farmington.
Hometown proud.
Chat speaker Luke Mel with you, and Luke of Farmington needed a touchdown to win it last week with 1:10 remaining. They got the football back. They need a touchdown and the 2-point conversion now just to tie it and send it into overtime. And we've got 1:17 remaining in regulation here in Poplar Bluff.
Well, what better way? We need some of that Justin Bain magic again. And he was able to pull it off. Didn't even need the full 1:10 last week to pull it off.
Farmington scored with 20 seconds left in that one. A 37-yard touchdown pass, Bain to Evan Donovan.
Well, first and foremost, you got to make sure you recover this kick because basically Farmington is in the same situation Cape was. Cape couldn't even recover the kick, so they didn't even get a chance to try and tie it.
A big return would help matters. So the kick has come off the foot of Colin Jones. And 2 men back for Farmington. Bowman. Actually, this kick is just going to bounce out of bounds. And Farmington will have good field position. And you know what? I probably don't want the return men to touch that thing either. You don't want them taking it all the way back. I kind of like that decision.
Well, you give them basically a 60-yard field there. Farmington's going to take over at the 35, so I guess a 65-yard field.
The Knights with no timeouts left in the game, and they need to navigate 65 yards at 77 seconds here. Justin Bain, the quarterback. Got Greco right beside him to his left. Bain looks over to the left side, completes it to Greco, and Greco gains a few yards and then forced out of bounds. Gains just 5. The passing game that really has not been effective all night long is going to have to come through here. Just a 5-yard game. The Knights are going to have to gain more yards on this drive in the passing game than they have gained all night long combined. Only 38 passing yards in the entire night for the Knights. 65 yards to score a touchdown. Greco gets it on the rushing play. And Greco, a huge gain of 14 yards, but the clock continues to run.
Well, the clock will stop until they can reset the chains. And, you know, I'll tell you what, that's one thing. Farmington's hurry-up offense is good about getting reset real quick. And
Greco just topped the century mark, so both Bain and Greco now with 100-yard Knights, 2 100-yard rushers, and only 1 touchdown for the Knights tonight. 1 minute and 2 seconds and counting down in this fourth quarter. As Bain gets the snap back from the shotgun, looks over the middle, nowhere to go, takes the pocket to the right side, got none of it deep, chucks it downfield, but Evan can't come back in time to grab the pass. 52 seconds remaining in regulation. Farmington on the Poplar Bluff side of the field, 2nd and 10 upcoming.
Yeah, you got to recognize that your quarterback gets in trouble, and you got to start changing those routes around and coming back to help him out there. His 2 receivers on this right side of the field will deep 40 yards downfield.
Lynch and Donovan, the wide receivers for the right side. Twins off to the left side as well. Greco, the running back. 2nd and 10 for the Knights. 52 seconds left. Farmington trails by 8. They've got the football at the Poplar Bluff 47-yard line. Justin Bain, the quarterback. He's back in the shotgun. Calls it out. Retreat under heavy pressure now. Steps up in the pocket and he's dropped. 3 men right there to sack him. A loss of 8 yards, and the clock continues to run with no timeouts for the Knights. 3rd down and 15. 32 seconds and counting down. And all the players looking to the sideline for the call. 30 seconds to go. Bain gets the snap. He throws it into triple coverage as Donovan goes up. And the pass incomplete. And so now the 4th big play of the night for the Knights. And it'll be a 4th and 15 for Farmington with 22 seconds left. The line of scrimmage for the night at their own 48-yard line. And Farmington trails it by 8 points, 14-6.
Well, they had Evan Donovan played pretty well there. I really think, unless we get blown coverage against somebody else, we're going to have to make a play because they've got Donovan covered.
Yeah, he was triple teamed that time. And all 5 wide receivers now out on the outside. 3 wides to the right side, 2 wide receivers off to the left side. And it's Dame, the only one in the backfield, the quarterback back in the shotgun. 4th and 15 for the Knights, and here comes the blitz. Dame steps in, throws one up, and the pass is picked off. It's intercepted. It's taken down by Cameron Dowd, and this game is going to be over. 14-6, the 3rd interception of the Knights for Justin Dame. And Poplar going to win this game. The Mules lead 14-6. Farmington has beaten Poplar Bluff in the last 2 seasons by a count of 115-14. But not tonight.
Not tonight. Different stories tonight. Poplar Bluff, we knew they were a scrappy team. Boy, and they gave Farmington all they wanted was a little more.
14-6 going to be our final score. Farmington loses this one on the road to Poplar Bluff. Victory formation by Poplar Bluff. And there's your ball game. 40-minute rain delay and some twists and turns along the way. For the end result, the Farmington Knights fall to 2-5 on the season. Poplar Bluff, winners of only 2 games a year ago, 1 game 2 years ago, now with a winning mark at 4-3 on the season. And Poplar Bluff victorious, 14-6.